Welcome, guys. We got episode 19.
I'm the only one that actually drank out of my drink.
Fucking count.
Gee, I couldn't. I had to introduce everybody. They don't know who we are. They're wondering why I'm in a shirt and did my hair and don't have a hat.
He's not bald, guys.
Who knew?
Yeah, he's not bald. He's not losing his hair. He has a hard time gaining the facial hair. This took about 12 years to get.
Yeah, the bummer is this is
level.
the good side, and this is the side y'all see. So tough. Sorry
It's very
about that.
patchy. Yeah.
We have some new additions in the back. Noah's mom brought us the mousetrap looking thing that you can almost see.
It's right back there. I'm like pinching it if you can see.
We don't really, so we appreciate that. We're filling the set a little bit, kind of, but those are battery-powered lights, so if you watch through the whole thing, you'll slowly see them die. Isn't that exciting? We are up to 73? Three subscribers, 100, right around the corner. We're coming for you. We're looking at it. Please, send it to your grandma or something. Come on, give us some help.
Somebody's going to watch this in 2028 and see it's at 74.
They never made it. How sad.
Yeah.
They tried so hard. So we did go to an SWO wrestling match this evening. That's why the shirt and stuff, because we literally came from there, sat right here. It was Noah's first ever wrestling live event, and he's also told us he's never watched WWE.
So this is not only just his first ever live event, he's never watched wrestling. He doesn't know how it works.
Only thing wrestling adjacent, I watched and it's not even wrestling, I watched the Paul Tyson fight last year.
That's not wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. There was a ring, but
So do you realize how
I know the concept of WWE, and I know that there's storylines. I know it's not full force.
No, I mean, do you know how a match ends?
No, honestly, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how
So
everybody was just all right, let's go home.
All these matches, and he had no idea who was winning or how.
Nope. Well, I know the 1, 2, 3, and that I was like, oh yeah.
So typically, there's two ways to win. You're either pinning them, which is 1, 2, 3, and once you get a 3 count, you win, or you get them to tap out because they're in pain and they can't take it anymore.
But what's the difference between the ones that started that didn't have the belt and then the one that was at the end that ended the whole thing? It didn't seem like there was any bracket.
So there's not a bracket for what you were seeing tonight because typically the brackets are a longer game, overall. But in this case, what you were seeing tonight was the only title match we watched was that last one. They had the winner take all titles, where whoever won got all 3 titles all at once.
Oh, okay.
But the other matches that we watched tonight, the title didn't change hands, so that was
it didn't.
an interesting match. But
right. So how many matches were there? So because everybody wasn't there with us.
There were 6 matches total tonight.
Okay, and then there was an intermission in the middle.
Correct.
But each match, I don't know if they had followed too many storylines today. It was just this guy versus this guy.
There was the one where the guy was like, "Well, your opponent didn't show up, and now you can't be dodging me anymore." The one guy, Cody
Rose. Yeah.
Right.
So and that's where another story starts. That wasn't there before. Or at least you'd never heard of it. You hadn't been there before, so.
Mm-mm. No, and I was actually really intrigued because I've heard the stories and I've seen clips of WWE and stuff. I see John Cena and stuff. But,
yeah.
I didn't know how it all worked because I knew that you're not trying to kill somebody in those rings. And at first, in that first match when they first ding the bell, they just start throwing haymakers at each other, and it's just bah, bah. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like this. And then I heard my first body slam, and oh my God, how did they not break the plywood underneath them?
There's a spring.
No, but he does have a good point.
You got a 400-pound guy on top of a 300-pound guy.
It's mainly because there's a spring there to absorb some of the shock, so the boards don't have to take it off.
Right, but it is
we were talking to Cisco, and he's like, yeah, it might look kind of fake, but they are still slamming down onto wood.
We don't use the F word.
Oh, sorry. I think he said that. I think he said it.
He did say that on the podcast. He caught me the last time.
You're new. Now you've gotten your warning.
This was your first.
What do you do when you need to cut something out? Do this or something?
Yeah, but that's for everybody else, not for you. Oh. Nope, everybody else gets that. This is your third time. You know better now.
And this was your first ever wrestling event. So it's your
we
first
did go back
ever.
in Kenny's when he did say the F word, and then we beeped it out, even though it was just the word fake instead of the F.
All right, it's hard to use any other word because it's obviously they're not trying to kill each other.
It's choreographed.
That's right. Okay.
I mean, it's I know. Well, okay. So another, if we can bring it up, I don't know. we did talk to one of the wrestlers, and it seems like
Yeah, we talked to Ace Dallas. He said June 13th on our time, so it'll be a week later for you guys.
June 21st.
He's going to do a podcast with us. So we're going to have him zoom in and give us the details behind SWO, the history, and kind of dive a little deeper into it.
you're right.
Has he been with them since the start?
He's one of the longest ones that have been with him. When we talked to Cisco, it was him and Ken was the other one, but we didn't have a chance to grab Ken this evening. So
Okay.
Right. So, but that's our first one. Hopefully, we can get him in there. But and the reason that I was saying that was because I was like the wrestling questions that like we all kind of have. Like
Yeah.
I think like, you know, like I don't want to insult them. Like I'm not saying these things to insult. Like, but like
I'm being completely honest with my questions.
How do you?
I feel like,
yeah. How do you see it? This is how I see it, and not in a negative light. But like I wanted to ask some questions. Like, do you see it as like a theater to it? But like in like you go to a play, like you know, the guy gets shot, he doesn't actually get shot, right? But you jumped off of that top rope and you still hit that ground over there. Like it didn't not hurt.
Yeah. Do
But
they
it
see it as
was
character
choreographed.
development, or do they see it as an emotional thing? Like, do they get emotions into it, or are they just like acting it all out? Like, do they feel those emotions? You know what I mean? Like, you know, an actor, a really good actor, feels the emotions that they're trying to portray in a movie or a TV show.
as an audience member, I would say that there are definitely some that come out that you can tell that they feel it because the energy that they have when they come out.
There were some that really commit to it. Yeah.
You saw Weber and them come out tonight, and they run around the ring
like multiple times, like out of breath type of running. Like
like there are plenty of them that are into it, and they bring the energy with them when they come out through those. You know.
Well, then there was a few you see them and they go up and like no exaggeration, no under exaggeration. They go up and go and that was it. But, and then, like some of them, they come out, they're like like real powerful with it. Like
I was impressed that Noah picked most of the heels tonight that he liked. So they're
So you have a
babyface, which is a good guy, and then you have a heel, which is the bad guy.
I pick the heel almost every time. I think.
And I think every match Noah picked the heel as his
the antagonist.
What he wanted.
which kind
And
of
then
hint is like you're not supposed to do that.
And I like rooting for the antagonist. I like rooting for the bad
Everyone in the room is chanting one person's name, and Noah's like, I'm scared to cheer. And
I
you're like,
literally looked over. I was
okay. Literally wrestling fans. I'm like, we went to a match where we saw a guy, one of the people in the stands, throw a chair because he was unhappy. I'm leaning over to Kenny like, Noah is going to get his ass beat. Like,
by some kids.
Right.
They were
Those
like
kids
8-year-olds.
pissed off when I did one cheer for one. I'm sorry, I'm spacing on your name, but there was one where I was like, yeah. Or what was the one where they were? The one guy was doing that. He would get up on top and everybody would start cheering super jump or something.
Superstar, maybe?
Yeah, and then the
That
other
was
guy,
Merrick Miami versus Tim Rush.
and I was ready for Rush. And Rush impersonates him and gets up top and it says the superstar. Is that what you just said? Yeah. And I go, yeah, superstar, and everybody else is dead quiet. I just look around, look at the kids, and they're giving me a look. I'm like, I'm sorry, this guy's about to fucking KO him. I'm like,
They were going to murder you. Yeah, those kids were going to take you out back and teach you how wrestling works.
Oh, yeah.
those kids would have killed me. The 7-year-olds would have killed me.
Yeah, your face during the first body slam, though, I saw it. You were like, "Oh my god!" No,
I didn't expect the noise, like, because like I said, the first minute of it was just like,
yeah.
and then it's just a flip on top of a flip, and then another. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it seemed really powerful. I'd be scared to be anywhere near that.
You didn't see any of the ladders or chairs tonight, other than like the
one with the pinata.
Yeah.
The candy
These people
exploded
watching
everywhere.
or listening are like, pinata, what was going on? Like,
This was wrestling?
Yeah. If you've never been to a Susquehanna Wrestling Organization event, SWO is highly entertaining, and I recommend it once a month down in Seven Valleys.
I mean, it's always entertaining in some way. I have never seen, I haven't watched that many.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen a pinata in a wrestling match?
Not until that night.
That's right. They're always bringing
And then
out
there was
something new.
kids every time candy was coming out. We're grabbing the Smush Twix and the Smush Reese's, taking bites of them.
Right.
Like that one
As
probably
they
is
were getting
compromised.
slammed on the ground and the Snickers are flying, the kids are happy as shit.
They're like flat Stanley fucking Twix when you get them. You're gonna tear them apart.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to have him on the show. So hopefully it works out. I mean, he could cancel or whatever, but hopefully not, because we'll just chase him down.
I mean, we put it in the books. So
we put it in the books. He's going to be there. Just be a little different because it's Zoom. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. So we're gonna get it going.
He seemed like an excellent
he does live
commitment to character.
We got to make that
He
work.
does live kind of far away. So it was like, well, and my driveway scares everyone away.
Dude, you're in the middle of the woods. Like,
Right.
they think we're going to come over here and squeal like a pig. Like, they think it's going to be deliverance. Up in
We
these
were talking
woods.
about. I was just telling you. I'm like, I didn't know what my pitch would be if I went up to somebody and be like, "We have 73 subscribers. We're just getting off the ground, and you have to come to my buddy's basement."
Yeah, but not to be a jackass, but like, what if all right, if 50% of 75, which is
3.5.
36, 37 and a half people, we're going to cut one in half, show up to the show, 37 and a half times $20 a ticket. They can make money, right? Right? We're helping. Help each other out, right?
If
they'll watch our show, we'll watch their show.
Doug,
you don't even have to leave your house
come on
to
down
watch
to
our show.
SWO May 31st.
Doug, we're taking Doug. Doug, you got to coordinate. We got to bring you to the wrestling match.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if he comes in June, it'll be the time you won't be able to go.
Ah,
You'll be at
Doug!
the wedding.
I do have a wedding.
But we'll
so
take
if there's
Doug.
ever a week we don't release a podcast, it's because I have a wedding. I'm sorry. But
Now you're getting the inside scoop.
All right, so back to what was your overall impression of wrestling? Would you go again, and would you recommend it to other people?
I didn't know what to fully expect going into it because, like I said, my only exposure is seeing like clips of John Cena growing up. I would see it on like ESPN's top 10 clips of last night or whatever. And honestly, I enjoyed myself, and it's not like a place I would expect myself to go to and have fun. Like my idea of having fun was not that until tonight. I would absolutely go back for $20. They put on a hell of a show.
Yeah,
They put on a
you
hell
get
of
your
a
money's
show.
worth.
And
I
like,
mean-
because, for better or for worse, it's a smaller venue.
Yeah.
You are right on top of that action. You are seeing everybody. You can get sweat thrown on you and even
Joe?
some whipped cream.
Joe got hit with the wrenches first time.
I did.
I heard
got
about
hit
that.
The first time I went, I got hit with a wrench.
That's
It
crazy.
was, they made sure I was okay.
They did check on him,
I
yeah.
was okay. I can handle it. If I can dodge a wrench, I can dodge a ball. All
That's
right.
what they said.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, my first impression too, that's too, right? Like you're getting like $20, you're getting like front row. If you want it, I want to be like second row.
I want to be able
First-
to take it all in and not have to worry about a guy falling on top of me.
One of the reasons
Because there
I
was one where the
typically
guy
do
sat in Mavis right next to her seat.
and that's why I typically, when I take you guys, I try to get like front row if I can, because yeah, they do want you to interact more, and I know you don't like it, but the other thing is that when you're sitting that close, the feeling when they hit that ring,
I bet it's even more like the
is
vibrations.
just, it gives you that reality of, holy shit, that fucking hurt.
Yeah, like they are fully exerting every ounce of effort to pick a guy up and flip him on top of and body slam him onto the plywood. It's insane.
and sometimes multiple times. And you're
Yeah.
just
And
like,
back and forth, pick up and throw and pick up and throw.
after the first one, I'd be tired.
Yeah.
And then they go on, like each match, like 10 minutes. So you're like throwing
It's like,
another
yeah.
dude for like 10
And
minutes.
they're not just flipping each other. Like you're running around that ring. They're doing their choreographed stuff and they're tossing each other around and everything. And then there's the ones that'll swoop underneath the ring and go out on the concrete. The couple guys would like fell on the concrete. You could hear
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, you hear them hit.
And it's like that.
Yeah.
I know you obviously softened your fall a little bit, but that still had to hurt.
I mean, like you trip and fall in your kitchen and you're like,
Yeah.
that guy just did it 3 times in that match. Right in
Well, the
front
one
of
guy
you.
had the bloody nose and was like,
Yeah.
blood was actively pouring out of his nose, and he went back in the ring and finished his.
Yeah, he was holding a napkin on as he jumped back in, yeah.
He had stuff to do, man. Like,
I think the coolest thing for me this time, well, there's a couple really cool things, and we can go into all of them, but this one was like the different weight classes fighting each other. You don't see that in any other like full force beatdowns. You don't see a 400-pound guy going up against a 180 guy. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool to like see a 400-pound guy just get flipped by a 180.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, it's also not every day that you get to go to a wrestling event and see Snorlax just dominate.
Just like absolutely conquered every single person it touched.
I wish they would give us that clip to show.
Right.
Like, it'd be like, come on, that was just fun.
Well,
So
if you want
that
to
was
see
just fun to watch.
If they want to see the clip, I recommend checking out Curb Media, which Cisco has been on here before.
Yeah.
He does a lot of their videos. I'm sure you can find it on Curb Media's Twitter or
Joe
on
will
their
throw
YouTube.
a link in the description. No, he won't. Never mind.
Joe won't put a link in there. He will
Noah
forget.
might do
Yeah.
it. Noah might throw.
But if you can
I
find
don't have
the
the YouTube
clip,
password.
the clip of
Yes.
Snorlax was fantastic.
That was amazing.
that was great.
I don't know if that was scripted or anything, but
I don't
like
know,
that
but-
was so good.
that was amazing. It almost showed the level of, like, come on, like some of the things they do are pretty talented.
Like
I cannot flip like that, and they were doing that flip kind of like by themselves, doing the
They
wrestling
tapped him
move.
in and then were just hold him and like flip themselves
would
in
do-
midair. Like,
Yeah, like a whole flip. I'm like, I
and make
can't
it look
do
like
that.
he reversed it on them midway.
Yeah. And it was obviously a stuffed animal, but it was like,
But it was intense.
yes. And it was like everybody,
well, and it's not every day you also see a at least 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
I don't see like anybody taller than 6'3" a normal day. This guy comes out. I'm like, he was like an alien. I was like, oh my god. I was rooting for him. He was he was not.
He was the new guy that I forget.
He
He
his
was the
name.
antagonist. I forget
sorry, I
what
don't
word you
know his
used.
name.
Yeah,
That's
the heel, but I forget
Yeah.
his.
Well, even the taller guy would have been the guy to match that wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
Vertigo,
Yeah.
right? He's like
Yeah, Matt
tallest.
Vertigo is huge. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really tall.
I would've
So you would have
full-
loved
I
that
was-
because he's built, but he's still like skinnier a little bit. He's not like
But he's
those
muscular,
400-pound
yeah.
guys. Yeah,
Whips him around. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I was really rooting for that guy. And he got the first flip, and I'm like, oh, this is good. He's gonna dominate. And then, nope.
He's the one, and I wish I could remember his name, but it escapes me. But the old referee Robbie Mills was the one wrestling him. And oh my
yeah.
god, when he slapped him on the chest.
Oh man!
Oh,
And he had a
My
tattoo
God.
of the hand. Oh
You're
my
like anybody who wants to use the F word against wrestling. You're like that dude when he came out did not have a giant handprint
no!
on
But when
his
he
chest.
turned around, it was like 4 shades of red.
It was swollen already.
Like, you know when you get like a pinch and then you get those dotted red lines? I'm like, in between the fingers were like red dots. I was like,
we
he
were
hit that hard.
we were like 15, at least 15 to 20 feet away. You can make out every detail of that hand. You could see
Because he
everything.
used like a fingerprint scanner. He's like,
you
what do
could
use?
hear it when it.
Oh my god,
hit.
that recoil,
Oh.
man.
That one was the like they
He
all
must
did
have
it through
known-
the night, but
Yeah.
that one made the best contact.
I was gonna say that one was the one that the sound shot across the room, and I was like, "Ooh!"
Everybody was like, "Oh!"
See, I was doing all for everything because I didn't realize that like
yeah.
it's pretty normal for them to do the body flips and stuff, but like that one, just everybody.
Oh
could hear
yeah,
all
that one was
reverberate
like,
that.
oh man, and like
I
sometimes,
really hope he bought him a beer later after that one. Like
Yeah.
that's a tough one.
yeah, I'll bet. And I don't think the one time they were spinning the guy around and they caught the ref in the face with his shoe.
Yeah.
I don't think that was supposed.
No, he got
Maybe
his
it was.
ear because I saw him on
Yeah,
the
that
way
looked
out.
like
It
it
was
hurt.
dark red. His ear.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
I mean, even if he was supposed to knock the ref down as like a distraction, it probably didn't happen to happen the way it did.
Right. Yeah,
he
it's like
was
he
just
kicked him in
trying
the
to
face.
spin, and the ref just wound up being right
We
there.
couldn't
Like,
go
it was
where
like
the
it was like
ropes were
this.
there.
Like they spun and just like knocked him in the.
Yeah, the ropes are right behind him. He wasn't going to go anywhere. So it's like, they're trying and they're trying to make good entertainment for everybody else. So it's like you can't stop mid show, and they don't. I've never seen them. I mean,
You
if
told
somebody
Maddie
gets
said
hurt,
like they cut one short. You guys said like they tapped.
Yeah.
He tapped to 3 or whatever, but like
Funny
it obviously
enough,
was
while
only
we
like
were
a minute in. But
we were there one time that I remember Piranha hurt his knee during the match, and you could
is that what happened?
Yeah.
I could tell something happened. I just
he
didn't
got
know.
thrown, and the way he got thrown and landed, you could tell he fucked up his knee bad. And it was like, you could tell he was just kind of sitting off to the side because it was like a tag match or elimination match. And it got to the point where even then, he stood up on that knee and let them throw him out over the top of the ring to get out so that he could go back to the back. So like, even if he was intended to win that match or whatever, he still took another slam to the ground on that fucking knee, which, like, Jesus, man, that's some dedication.
Yeah, I think like wrestling is the middle. I would say, and I don't mean this as an insult, but like UFC with them dudes are actually like
they're trying to kill each other.
right. They're trying to kill each other, and then you have like theater, and then this would be in the middle.
Yeah, but to me, like UFC does not have the entertainment factor
No.
that wrestling
The only
does.
Oh,
time
yeah,
it does
because-
is when it was big names like Tyson and Paul. Like they just use that to their advantage. Like these are the two biggest name. Like this was the biggest name for however long, and this is the up and comer.
Because,
and they're
like-
gonna fight each other.
Right,
And they
and
use
then-
the advertising for
Right,
that.
and then like to complain about let's complain about.
And then
stuff.
it was like the worst fight I've ever watched in my life.
Well, the Logan Paul fight wasn't UFC; that was boxing.
Okay, I don't know.
So-
I don't know all that shit. No.
But either way, like that. Okay,
I
like
don't
a
know if that's
boxing
an insult
match.
to boxing, then.
Yeah, like a boxing match and a UFC fight. Like a boxing match, most of the time they're like dancing around,
But they're
right?
getting some good haymakers in. Like they're,
Right,
they're
they will.
actively trying to hurt each other.
Exactly. And then UFC, like they're like on the ground, like locked up with each other
Sometimes
for
they're
most of
locked
the
up, sometimes
time,
they're
right?
rolling around, kicking
So,
each
like
other.
this-
Well, where does MMA fit into all this?
That's
Well,
UFC.
Oh, okay.
Mixed
Yeah.
martial arts is UFC. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's different, right? But you're actually seeing like that guy's trying to kill that guy. Where they're like they're doing advanced techniques and they're gonna hurt each other, but I don't think they're trying to kill
Well,
each
and that's
other.
why I know they put like. So I'll say something I was skeptical of when you guys invited me. I'm like, it says on their Instagram and everything that they're professional, but like, it doesn't seem like it's a big organization. I don't know. Are they just using the word professional loosely? I went there. I'm like, they're professional. They're absolutely.
They
professional.
still go through the
Like,
training. They still go
Yeah,
through
like they know
learning.
what they're doing. They're not trying to kill you. I feel like that takes even more than trying to hurt somebody.
Right?
That's the thing.
You
it
are
takes-
actively trying to make a good show and not hurt somebody.
That's what I find
Dude,
wrestling
right?
more intense than like UFC because not only are you just doing the move, like
You're trying to do the move.
you
and
have
not
to make
hurt-
sure that move
Yeah.
comes off perfectly because if not, the margin of error that you could kill yourself or that person or
Yeah.
injure yourself seriously can be there. Like that's
There was a couple times I went and looked over at Joe, and right after something happened where it was like they would get up on the rungs or whatever and jump down, and their knee would be like this close to the person's neck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're any closer, that guy's dead or
Yeah.
paralyzed.
Right.
Because
And
that's a
in-
full force knee to your neck. Like,
And like UFC and boxing, they're not letting you do that. They're
No,
not letting
no,
you
they're just
climb on
trying
the
to
rope, climb on the cage, and then like
you're not letting you go
down
under-
on the guy.
underneath the ring and pulling out your tools that you had stowed there from earlier. Oh, here's 3 chairs, a fucking mechanics back wheelie thing.
I want to see one UFC fight where they pull out a pinata. All right,
That's filled with candy for the children.
just beating him with this reptar looking
I have
thing.
to say that was the highlight of the night though was the pinata. 'cause-
I gotta
that was-
act this out. So here's 2 chairs, and here's the pinata, and he flipped the guy over, body slammed him. Well, he was about to do that. Then the other guy flipped him over, and then wound up
Reversed,
using his pinata against him and smashed the pinata in half. And Candy was in this entire circumference.
Candy went everywhere.
And then the refs every couple seconds they would kick some of the candy out and shit.
Yeah.
Mavis grabbed the head of the pinata
Yes.
off the
Yeah.
floor, and she was giving candy to the other kids and
Yeah.
stuff. She was passing it out.
It was like when we
That's
watched the
awesome.
ladder match the one time, and I was just like, "Oh, that's a good ladder.
Yeah,
oh,
Joe's
it
like-
was a good
Joe's like,
ladder.
I could've
Oh,
used
I
that for
could-
my house.
Oh, that's like $100 ladder.
Did they
dude.
break the ladder?
Oh, the ladder's bend. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the one that
Oh,
he
yeah.
was watching, Joe was feeling for the ladder because Joe, you know how Joe is. Joe doesn't like to spend
Cheap
$10
bastard.
on bitters.
Right.
Joe's like that ladder had life in it. Still, it could have been used. I could have climbed to my roof.
Now
with
it's just
that.
scrap metal.
And they're like,
know.
they're jumping on it, and it's bent, and it's like fucking 4 ways this way.
And I was like, if you guys can I have that when you're done? Like, I could still use that ladder just a little bit.
yeah,
It's
Mavis
fine.
just walked out with the pinata.
I don't think they wanted it back. They don't like duct tape it
She
together.
wrapped it in her coat.
Right.
and
My
shit.
kid's like walking out with a pinata, and Joe's like, "I'm gonna take that ladder."
She took the pinata.
Can one of you help me carry this out? Love this in my car.
I paid my $20. I want that ladder.
You
Taking
missed-
something home.
You haven't been there for the one, but I took Joe to the one where they had the tax. Oh, the tax was that. I think is the one where Joe finally
Thanks.
realized that shit hurts regardless.
No free product placement.
Because
All 73 people.
they pulled out a bag of tacks and laid them on the mat.
Yeah, they did the sprinkle. Right?
Oh, you were
They
telling me
put the
about
tacks
that.
out and were like, brrrr, and spread them around.
Because you said one of your questions that night was, how do you fall on a pile of tacks and then go to work on Monday? Like,
Right?
That's insane.
Because I mean, maybe
'Cause
they
it's
do
like
it full time. I mean, if they could, but
With nails, I learned that in school. When if you have nails all in a in a square with all the like, it doesn't hurt you to lay on them or to use that.
Right.
But if they're just sprinkling tacks around the floor at will. Like that's gonna hurt.
well, and then when you get off the bed of nails, there's not a nail in your back.
Right.
Like they get up and there's like 17 tacks, and like you can see the one on the dude's arm. Like, so if you're gonna take a tack
got
and put it in my
tacks
arm,
everywhere.
I'm gonna go no.
Not a chance.
Like
Maybe Gabby might be able to withhold that with all the things she does with type 1 diabetes, but like
But and not to be a jackass, but it's not like they sterilized all the tacks.
that's what
right?
I say. Like if they really want to have like a biological warfare, they could do rusty tack knife.
They came
Be like,
from,
and then they'll come back weeks later and be like, okay, who survived?
They
who
came
has
from
hepatitis?
Staples,
Who
man.
has AIDS? Yeah.
Right.
What'd you say?
those tacks came from like Staples before they shut down.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's still all ready to go.
Okay,
So,
I had a question about unless you want to, you have something.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
What's your
I have
Well,
plenty, but let's roll with it. I don't
So-
want to use these.
That's fine.
Nobody cares. I didn't even do an intro this time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Noah's question.
We've been we've been actively trying to get Joe to not read the topics in the beginning because it's
working.
a waste of time.
It is a waste of
doesn't
time.
So we're gonna talk about bidets and airplane. All right, so wrestling.
We're 26 minutes in and we didn't have to read the fucking list. We are golden.
Save 30 seconds, Doug. So you probably, I don't know if you know the answer, but like how much of this is actually, like obviously the matchups are mostly scheduled ahead of time and everything, but like all those flips and everything, what of that is already known ahead of time? Like how many flips?
When we talked to Cisco, some of it's known ahead of time because Cisco did say they do try to tell him like we're going to do this so he can get a better shot of it.
So they have like good ebbs and flows of it, but they still go with the flow.
But there's still
kind of.
improv. There's still things that they're going to change up because things didn't
They
go
know
the way
who's
they
going to
wanted
win
to.
at the end, though. That's the
Typically,
end,
yeah. Unless like something major happened and that person got seriously injured and they have to end it sooner.
I mean, I think, but that's part of my questions. It's like, because Cisco, I think, knows a little bit from an outsider a little bit, because he's not.
They just tell him,
he's
be
not,
here with the camera.
yeah, like he's not actually a wrestler. Right.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go to the practices. Like I assume there's practices, or do you have to practice on your own? Do you go to the gym and then you like grab this weight and flip it? Like what do
Great
you?
questions for them, yeah.
I got questions, man. Remember I was reading them on the Discord the one night?
Yeah.
I got like
You had like 35 questions.
35
lots of
questions just for if it was the wrestler, and then like another 35 if it's like an organizer of the group. If they're cool with answering them,
Maybe
but I'll be
we'll
like,
get that commentator. We'll see. I'm
Yeah, I'll be
still
like-
working with.
I'll be like, hey man, anything before the podcast, as we always do. I'll be like, anything off limits, you let me know, and we'll just stay out of that area. But like, and then it seems like,
You don't want to
sorry.
ruin the facade for everybody either.
Yeah.
Like,
right? And I don't think
like there's things that's been ruined for me over the years, and I'm like, I wish I didn't know that. I wish I didn't know this about like the thing that I love so much.
right.
So for me, I'm like an outsider. I came and I enjoyed it, but like there's people that make this their whole lives, like, and I don't want.
Oh yeah, that guy was there. He threw his chair in the ring the night he didn't have the outcome he wanted.
He was very upset.
There was one particular person. I'm not going to describe the person or anything, but like they were into it. We were sitting here, they were here, all the way on the end, clapping, freaking cheering at every little thing, even when nobody else was saying anything. I'm like, you are dedicated.
Did that person have a belt with them?
I don't know. That person had white hair.
But I feel like if it's a match between two wrestlers, there's three characters in that room. There's the two wrestlers, but then the audience.
Yeah.
The audience is involved as
I feel
much
like it
as
drives
they
the
are,
motivation of
like
some of them.
even more than like or to the level of like a football game where like, oh, the receiver missed that pass because he couldn't
Screaming.
hear the play
Yeah.
when they were doing it, like to a certain extent where it's not going to throw them off, but like the audience is so heavily involved where like if you go to a theater show, I'm not going.
Don't shoot Lincoln! Don't shoot Lincoln!
Piece of shit! Piece of shit!
Like that's not happening. So
So what? The piece of shit guy wasn't there tonight?
No, he was. That was the guy they were calling Dirty Sanchez. That was the one, Benny
'cause
Slater.
They didn't start the chant. Like everybody was saying they were going to start a lot of those piece of shit chants, and I didn't hear them. So
They were started a little bit, but I think the thing is we really got caught off guard by the King of Creamery.
yeah, I was going to talk about
my-
the elephant in the room. Like
That-
this.
That was a whole.
There was children there. And
That
I wasn't
added.
sure how sexualized this was going to be. I knew it was going to be sexualized a little bit,
I mean,
as
it was.
most things are.
My kid has no idea what was
Obviously
going on.
not.
She thinks,
I just found out before the podcast that Nickelodeon slime is probably sexualized at least a little bit. It's
well, I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't watch Quiet on Set, the documentary.
I did.
Oh, I didn't.
Drake Bell, I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's one about Nickelodeon, about the era of their sexual abuse scandals
Yeah, Drake Bell.
Where was this at? Netflix?
on HBO.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that one.
Did you watch
HBO Max now. They've renamed from
Don't
Max
even
to
start.
HBO Max.
Don't
They
even.
went back.
They
to
went
HBO.
back.
Yeah, they went back.
They went back. You know why?
Complaint talking about streaming or talking about any company that rebrands themselves and then rebrands them Comcast to Xfinity and now kind of back to Comcast but still kind of Xfinity.
Oh, are they doing that?
It's been years where they just
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that still say Comcast. There's so many things that say Xfinity.
the
but it's
business
just
stuff is still
nuts.
Comcast, the home stuff is Xfinity. I don't know.
I don't. But you know what? Xfinity's hard to spell for me, so I don't like it. I don't like it as a word. There's a bunch of I's and stuff in it and T's, and they get all mixed up when I look at it.
Xfinity is hard for you to spell.
It is. I just feel like I can muddle my way through it, but every time I read it, I go, "Oh, I'm gonna have
You
to
know what's
spell
hard
that."
for me? On that say definitely. I can never
Oh,
spell definitely.
I
right.
still don't know how to spell it, dude.
Definitely?
That's wrong. I say it that way, and it's wrong.
Well, that's not how you say it, but that's how you spell it.
I know that's not how you spell it.
I just type it my
Oh.
really wrong way, and most of the time it just autocorrects to defiantly.
Defiantly is how you like. That's how I keep in mind to spell it.
Oh no, mine. See, mine. don't-
Copilot writes my emails now. So.
No, I don't know because mine. I've typed it wrong so many times that even if I type it right, it makes it wrong. It's like, nah, you
That's
meant
an
that.
Android thing.
You ever got? Yeah. It
Apple
is.
does not let you put shitty words in.
You know what's great though? It autocorrects curse words for me now in the way that I want them. I'll type
noticed
duck
mine
and it'll
never-
change it to fuck now.
Mine no longer says ducking when I type things. They finally got it that I do not mean, yes, Joe, you should go duck yourself.
So, like, if you guys ever go duck hunting, it's gonna be like, hey, you want to go out and get some fucks tonight? Like,
You want to fuck tonight?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, you would never say ducks to Joe.
You want
what a big fuck I got.
to have a fuck for dinner? You know?
Hey, do you remember when we were kids? Donald's fuck. We veered so far off
You guys
time.
ever had a turfucking?
Did you just say turfucking?
You ever heard of a turducken?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I knew what you meant. The turkey inside of a fucking. I got it. Yeah.
Turfucking.
No, it's a three-way. It's a turkey
Oh,
inside
yeah.
of a chicken inside of a duck or whatever.
Whatever.
The ducks. The ducks.
Who gives
yeah.
a duck?
Who gives a duck?
Who gives a duck? Oh, fucking podcast. Where the fuck were we talking about
So-
before that?
We were talking about SWO, and then we jumped into random.
Well, we were upset with HBO.
Yeah. Wait. So
Then we went into the quiet on set for the slime for the creamery. It started with the king of cream that showed up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like we didn't quite finish that because that guy
No, we
was
definitely
new.
didn't.
And holy hell,
what a
He was new to
performance.
us. I don't know if he's new to SWO, so I
He didn't seem-
apologize how often he's been there, but he was new to us.
yeah, he was. Yeah, right. So like,
So I'll set the stage.
It's great to have Noah set the stage because as someone who has the least amount of experience, I can't wait to hear your
I
description.
don't even know who he fought. Oh, it was the final one with
He was in the
try.
8-man tag team match.
His team comes out before his team. He comes out and just fucking has whipped cream in both hands. Has I wouldn't call it a G-string. What is that? A Speedo that says King of Cream on
Oh
his
no,
front.
no, he did not.
Did he
did
not
not
have
have
that?
that
at the
on.
beginning?
First, he did not.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Set the stage over here forgot half the.
All
curtain.
right,
He had
Kenny, set the stage.
he came out. He had
I'm not really good at
two
setting the stage.
cans of cream. He handed one off, and he walked around putting cream in people's mouths.
Anybody
you know,
that asked for
very,
cream,
very stylized.
and we would go, what?
And he
then
had
would-
multiple pairs of pants on, and the first pair of pants that he wore when he came out,
Or were they the
said,
silky black ones?
It said Dairy Daddy on them.
That's what it was.
Yep.
And that's what it said. And I looked at Maddie, and we were concerned.
I was very worried about what was going to come next.
It said
I do
Dairy
remember this
Daddy. And then he got in the ring, and he ripped off those pants and threw them at somebody. And I'm pretty sure he had two more pairs of pants on beyond that before we saw the bright white Speedo.
Before we even got to the Speedo, he did try to coerce the ref into being on his favor and did give some of his cream over to the ref.
Yeah.
And the ref liked it at first, and then I guess she changed her mind and came over to our corner and spit it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah.
So it wasn't
And then
good
That was
cream.
a great way to start it. Yeah.
So it
And
wasn't
the
good
kids
cream.
were trying to take those cans of cream. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh my
that.
God.
I did
were
see
they?
that. Yeah, I saw the
Oh,
kids
wow.
playing with the cans of cream over on the side. But yeah, then he had that white Speedo, and on the front it said King of Cream. And on the back it said Stan Styles.
Yeah.
And that's all he had on.
Yeah.
He
I
had
think
knee
that was
pads and boots on.
It
yeah.
would have been so fucking hilarious if you had one of those the Magic Mike bow tie with just the collar on.
The Chippendale collar.
That would have been great. Yeah, he did not seem amateur at all. Very much.
No, he knew what he was getting
He
into.
had a show. He stuck to it.
He had
That
a
didn't seem like his
stick.
first day.
He
And if
had-
it was, good on you, sir.
Right?
Because he was extremely entertaining. I feel like took over most of the first part of that show.
He
Before
did.
all the other ones really started
Yeah.
like engaging the
And everybody
the
else-
girls, the girl and the guy in the orange
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
running around the ring. I really like
Weber
them.
and
Weber and Shea, the
yeah.
outfielders.
I apologize for the names, but
No, it's all good.
they put on a hell of a show too.
You went
because
to your
I mean,
first show. Like
they were very energetic for what they were doing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like the
Yeah.
one guy ran around. I would have been so out of breath by just him running around a couple times.
It was really hard to hate the. They've called him piece of shit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Prophets of Sin.
Prophets of Sin. Thank you. It was really hard to hate them in that match because everybody was like, it just flowed so well. It was almost like a very entertaining
Their
thing to watch.
interactions
Where,
with the Snorlax did make it so that you were like, they're not completely pieces of shit right now because it was
Right.
very comical to watch
it
them
was like,
interact.
and I know you're supposed to hate him and everything, but still, it was like
I wasn't rooting-
overall that match
I
was one of the
wasn't
most
rooting for them,
entertaining matches that I've ever seen. Like it was
Oh, yeah.
really good. Like overall, like I really loved all of it because like it was so different. Everybody played with that cream thing, like just they leaned into it.
They were setting people over in the crowd and creaming them and
Yeah.
like wiping it on their chest and their face.
And then there was
Exactly.
guys to our left that kept chanting, "Give him cream, give him cream," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like this is insane." I'm like, "This is," but like obviously the children have no idea what. Like,
Yeah.
now I have
They're not
hinds-
interpreting it the same way we are. They're
No,
interpreting
that
it
was the
very-
problem. The kids started saying, "Cream him, and I'm like,
They're interpreting it very innocently,
right.
and that
I
is
never do that. Ever
all
since
that
I've turned like
matters.
16 years old, I've never been able to be innocent about it.
Yeah.
There
But that
was the
was kinda-
one. Oh no, go ahead. I lost my.
Well,
thought.
no, I was just
But
going to
go
say
ahead.
that it was good that there was like a fine line there where like the adults can enjoy it in one way
Right.
and the kids can enjoy it in
Well,
another.
it's like
but
old
it doesn't.
cartoons, yeah.
Old
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
yeah.
I was just gonna say they had the
Yes.
adult jokes in there, and now I can watch SpongeBob with my niece and nephews and still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not just for the nostalgia, but there's some really funny
like the
jokes. that
kids
I
see it. They
picked up
just see a guy going around spraying cream, and they're like, "That's cool as shit. I want to get some cream." They do not see
on. Now
it
they're
the
going
same
home
way
and be
we
like,
do.
"Mom, let me cream you."
But I can tell you, my daughter in a couple years from now is gonna be like, "Dad, you really let me go to that?" Like, are
I
you
know.
Okay.
I saw that one kid, and it looked like they took the picture of him when he was getting it in his mouth. I'm like, 10 years from now, that kid's
You
not
are
going to want that picture.
photo.
That's gonna get out on Instagram for his for his high school friends to see.
Yeah.
It was the one. No, the one line that killed me was the guy got creamed on the other team and like fell out of the ring and came right in front of us and went, "I usually have to pay for this."
Yeah, you have to pay extra for this. Yeah. And he had it like all over his beard and everything. It was everywhere.
But we were saying about the them breaking. It was a bit of a breaking character, but it was so good. Like everybody
Oh
loved
yeah,
it.
it was done very well.
I love watching them
But-
all limp off afterwards.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. When you're the loser, you kind of slump away.
but it probably does fucking hurt too. Like,
Well,
you
yeah,
probably
they're
are.
sore. They have to be sore. I'm sore after
Oh,
playing
yeah.
18 holes of golf, and they're getting slammed on the
I
plywood.
assembled a bed today for 4 hours and I was sore. They
Oh, your
jumped
lower
around
back
for
must
2
be
hours.
fucking
I was gonna
in
say-
shambles, dude.
Yeah.
Like the end of the day, Friday. That's how we all leave work, anyways. We're like, oh my god,
And
right?
they
Like,
just do it for 10 minutes, and they get a whole 40 hours of work
Yeah.
in 10 minutes.
It's like that guy just whooped my ass.
but where I was
Threw
going,
a pinata.
those Kubernetes. Fuck, man.
Sorry, where you're going?
where I was going with the break of character thing is what I hope when we get him on, bring Ace on. That is, I hope he's not like feel like he's showing behind the curtain because it's like we're all the people that watch this show, this is an adult show, right? Like we're not having kids watch this show, right? So the adults
The
in the
youngest
room,
kid
I
that's
feel like,
watching the show is like my 16-year-old sister.
Yeah, we're
come
not
on, like
advertising for
we're
children.
adults. Like like when I watch a movie, I know like Tom Cruise isn't actually the guy in the movie. He's
You
an
got to
actor.
watch the first 30
So-
seconds of any podcast episode on this channel to know that it is not for
Yeah.
children.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or children of parents that care about their children in the slightest. So.
But I feel like too, this seems like the era of WWE where they're also not doing like The Undertaker compared to now you have John Cena, where it's just, as we were discussing on the one podcast, it's like they realize that they're just people. It's realism, not the era of realism or something like that is what Cisco was talking about.
Well, yeah, he was talking about, it used to be the era of kayfabe where you did not break character and you stuck in character like even outside of the ring. But we're not there anymore. People realize
You're a real person.
You can't suspend belief 24/7 anymore. So you have to be able to just get them to suspend belief for that little bit of time, but keep them going. Give them a little bit of reality in between.
Do you guys
like
the
I
show
don't mind.
Friends?
I don't.
I do not like Friends.
Never mind, I won't bring it up then.
I mean, maybe they do.
There's an episode of Friends that perfectly exemplifies this. Joey plays on Days of Our Lives as a brain surgeon, and there's an episode where one of his fans of the show thinks he is Dr. Drake Ramore, the doctor he plays, and like falls in love with him, and like he's a womanizer, so he's loving it, and then he realizes like when she watches the Days of Our Lives episode and he saves somebody's life, and like I don't know where he's based out of, but it's not New York. Like that doctor's not based in New York or anything. She's like, "How'd you get back from like California so quickly to be here? You just saved somebody's life." So it's like you can't expect people to always be in character all the time. Like even people like Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift or any of those, like they're just people. They're gonna put on a show for 2 or 3 hours. But they're just people,
Yeah. Well, and then you can't break character in the middle of the match. Like, I'm not expecting you to do that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, in the middle of the match, you go and talk to me like a person.
But then I like some of them that like were in character and liked the crowd service and were trying to get the crowd riled
They
up.
definitely love the crowd service, and you can tell the baby faces versus the heels because that's how they drive the crowd. Like, they come out and they're either chanting the crowd or cheering the crowd on, or they come out and they're antagonizing the crowd. Like,
Well, the new tall guy, whoever he was fighting had like his saying, and then like he would knock him to the ground and do his saying like in a mimicky voice, and I fucking love it.
everybody was cheering, go Robbie, go Robbie.
Oh, yeah,
so
and
he
then
was
he
like,
Go Robbie!
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fuck Robbie. Yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know who he is. I just met him, but
I was just like, oh my God, Noah's going home in my car. I'm like, they're going to hunt me down.
Joe's like, those little kids are going to be waiting by the Tesla.
But I'm
and
always
beat his
like
ass."
that. I'm always like that at everything, like in sports and stuff. I'm the guy that will get into the fist fights and have no business being in the fist fights. I'm the guy that goes to Philadelphia with an Islanders jersey on and expects to get yelled at. And I think it's the funniest shit ever that how serious people take things, because it's like, I take hockey really seriously. But I like getting in those little crummy matches and chirping and stuff. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I find it funny, but
I think most people do, but there are certain people that would like take it too far, and you're like, hey,
Yeah, and that's
it's
the
a
thing.
show, man.
once I
come
noticed
on.
at the intermission that they were all just like walking around and wanted to talk to people, I'm like, oh, okay. Like we're not taking this, like you said, where they're going to be in character the whole 2 hours.
No, because you do see after their matches and stuff, they're standing back there with their kids, at the
We
door.
went
they're
up
selling
and
50,
talked to
50
Ace,
tickets.
and he was just like, just chilling. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't
Yeah.
even sweating anymore. Like he was all cleaned up and.
Yeah, exactly. So that's nice, because I feel that's comfortable. Like the other way is more uncomfortable, where it's like I gotta, too much. But
No, what is it called? Like when an actor gets a role and then they have to like immerse themselves in that role for however long. Like that's how their acting style is. So they like become the
method
character.
acting.
Yeah, method acting where they become the actual character, and I feel like that's not good for mental health. I mean, Heath Ledger, I mean, he killed himself because he couldn't deal with the fact that of how he made himself crazy. So it's like, I don't know.
I could see where they could, I mean, but that's why it's like it's what we're all doing on Saturday to have a good time. Like I feel like they're having a good time. I'm having a good time. It's
Yeah.
Only $20. It's
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Well, that's the thing that I love about there is you can tell at the end of the show that none of them are taking it too seriously like a method actor because at the end they're all handing out flyers for the next one.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah, the
standing
ref
there
took
doing
his
the
shirt off
work.
and put another shirt on and was just handing out flyers.
Yeah, like they're all doing the work at the end. They're handing out the flyers. They're getting you to come to the next one. They're selling the tickets for the next one. Like,
there's the charm of like that low to medium budget type of thing where like even just like something like this podcast, we're doing it for the love of the podcast and the love of enjoying that. They are doing it for the love of SWO and the wrestling and the people that are watching them.
and you know what's funny
They're not
though?
doing it for the money. They're doing it. I'm assuming they're doing it because they enjoy doing
Oh
it.
yeah, and as somebody that's into wrestling, because I actually enjoy wrestling to some degree, I would much rather spend the money to go to SWO than to go to a WWE show. And
I'm
it's not
assuming
that I
you'd
don't
be
like
in the
WWE.
nosebleeds. You would never even see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
my brother went and he bought tickets and where they were sitting. I mean, he sent a picture and he might as well have been watching the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was at a Ravens game before and it was the same thing. Like you're sitting up so high and you're just watching the screen and I'm like, I could be at home watching this. And then they have instant replay and all that.
That's why I
shit that
try
didn't
to
have
only
before.
go to playoff games because I really just go for the atmosphere of the fans and just being a New York fan. New Yorkers are crazy. If anybody is a Knicks fan, you've seen over the past few days the Knicks overtaking the Celtics, and New York City is in shambles right now because of the crazy people going around and just screaming.
Nobody that's watching this podcast is a Knicks fan.
Who knows? They're 73 or 40.
Maybe that
now.
73rd one.
Well, Noah's going to be. I'm going to be watching this next week when it comes out, and I'll be like, "Hey, yeah, he's right." New
Noah,
York
you
is a
refer to yourself in the third person now? What is wrong with
There's
you?
3 Noah accounts that follow this.
Right?
this-
Doug's probably got 7.
I mean, Doug's
I
allowed to
hope
have
we've
as many-
entertained Doug so far. I don't know if he's into... Doug is not, I don't think, into any sporting events at all.
I think Doug would enjoy a wrestling event, though.
I think he would go once. Like,
How are you
I feel
friends with Fuzz and not like sports? That's
I
crazy.
know, right?
Well, you don't like sports for the most part either.
But I watch football.
Yeah, that's.
I
okay.
can watch sports. Like, if you're like, hey, let's go to a baseball game, I'm like, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a good time, but I'll go.
FOMO.
Because it's baseball. Yes, exactly.
It's not
Like, I'll
baseball.
go to a wrestling match, even though, like, okay.
Yeah, but the wrestling match, you keep coming, so you're enjoying it enough that you're
Maddie
like,
seemed
it's
to enjoy
entertaining.
it too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Maddie's in.
Oh, yeah. Maddie loves
She
it.
knew all the characters. She's whispering the characters and all their lore about. I'm like, okay.
Maddie and I are in. Maddie
Jen seems
follows
like she's
the
into.
Instagram and stuff, so Maddie really knows like what's going on, who's facing who. Like she knows
Yeah.
the stories behind it. She's in.
And then me, I'm just like, oh, I wish I could help them with their production value. Not that Cisco's is bad. I just meant like when they're all filming with their phones and stuff. But it's this day and age, so it feels real. But I'm just like, oh, I wish I could help. Because it's like
Yeah, I mean, what
lighting.
Cisco had-
And then they'll look at my lighting and be like, what are you talking about? Your
Right.
lighting,
Your lighting fucking sucks.
your lighting fucking sucks. Like,
Well, I mean, if you want to give
Like
your
he gets
time
into,
away,
we're not
whenever
talking
you're-
at a solo table, and I'm sitting on a fold-out
Yeah.
chair right now.
well, maybe we'll have to
once a
work it
month,
out. They come
Joe.
on the show and, so we'll make it work out.
Say once a month when you're not filming a wedding, you're going to have to go there and do some filming with Cisco so that they can have, multiple camera feeds
Yeah,
for
well.
Curb. You could add your skills to Curb. Let them edit it so you don't have to do it.
I
You
don't.
could cut this out if I can
don't-
ask this question, but does he get paid at all, or does he do this for the love of the game?
I don't know if we asked him that question, but I imagine he gets at least
I would
some
imagine he gets
compensation.
paid.
Yeah.
Because
So they have to do
well, the
other
thing-
funding other than the or other than the sponsors and the $20 tickets, because I'm assuming less than 200 people in that.
Well, they also did the 50-50 too, so
Oh,
half of that
true.
goes to
they
them
have
too.
concessions as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
And
I'm not sure
they
the
might make.
concessions goes to them. I think the concessions goes to the fire hall because, like, when I've rented a fire hall before, there is an option like to rent the fire hall with the kitchen staff,
Oh,
and
well,
the kitchen staff is like a donation to the fire hall. Then, like, if they're running it for you, like while you're there, all that money goes to the fire hall usually.
oh, okay.
At least from what I've.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
the
that'd be a
fire hall
case
has to
by
make their
case,
cut
but-
somehow. They're hosting an event in
Well, they
their
still get
fire
paid
hall.
to rent the event. Like they probably rent the building. out.
Oh,
Like,
okay, true.
I mean, like, when we rented it out for a birthday party for Mavis, I think we paid like $250 to rent it for the whole day. And that was if we wanted the kitchen staff, they would come, but it would be an extra charge.
Yeah.
But then they would cook and serve and clean and all that. It was, at least an option. But I think that's how they work it down there. Because when we were up in Redline, they did the same type of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't all the same people running the concessions.
I mean, they've been doing it for what? They're celebrating 20 years now, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't do that
I'm saying if 5 of their how many big names would you say they had, like, for them as their big names?
Big name
Like
wrestlers?
like the returning characters.
They're returning characters. I'd say they have at least
I was gonna say
8 to 10 people that are
say half
very
of them left.
always.
They would they be able to keep up SWO if half of them left tomorrow?
Funny enough, I would say possibly, because when we went down for the one Rumble that they had, the 30-man Rumble, they had people from three Legacies come in and some of the other ones in the area. So I think they do work closely enough with the other professional wrestling in the area that they could make it work. But I think you're right that their main, sellers right now are still a certain group of people. But it's weird because even Joe's been there with me where those people haven't been there sometimes because they can't make it or whatever else. But the show is still top notch. Like, they put on a good show.
Yeah, it's always good.
Really, yeah. I really enjoyed the production value. I mean, I didn't have to pay for my ticket, so I mean, like, I'm looking at this
professional too. Like, I don't think they push the limits to like something that would be unsafe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, everything felt professional. Like, there's always a chance. Like, football is professional, but somebody could get seriously hurt.
Yeah.
But
The
that's
guy
just
that got the
nature.
nosebleed, there was 3 guys as soon as they saw blood that like crawled over there really fast and made sure the guy was okay before they had him go back in the ring at all.
Yeah.
So like it
And,
seems
like,
any sort of injury they are like, we gotta
They're
make sure
on
I
that-
don't even know if that was an injury because I get nosebleeds all the time.
I don't
No,
know.
he got smacked in the face.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it was an injury or not, but it definitely was not planned.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was a lot of blood.
I mean, yeah, but I've had nosebleeds. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know though. He'd have to
We
tell
can watch
us.
back that live stream too. probably.
Yeah. Because like I get nosebleeds all the time, and like by the time he got back up in the ring, like I could control a nosebleed. That as soon as I it might catch me off guard, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I like wiped it off, I could like at work, I get nosebleeds, and it's like I don't go to the bathroom and I go to the bathroom, get cleaned up, but then I'm like right back to work. Like
Yeah.
in 1 minute,
it's not gonna-
I've
it doesn't
turned it
hurt to
around.
get a nosebleed,
No,
yeah.
it doesn't. And it's like this season where I do. It's when it goes from cold to hot or
Yeah.
hot to cold, like in spring and fall.
Yeah.
And it's just the nose gets dry, it cracks, and then and there you go.
Well, a real injury. That
But I
was-
wonder. I do wonder.
We'd have to ask him. I guess we'll have to have him on the podcast.
We're trying.
I've tried.
We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep asking people. And
Hey, podcast.
We
Hey,
got
you're
Ace.
on the podcast. Hey.
Ace is coming.
Blocked. Drag him in.
Blocked.
But the other thing too is I don't want to just start going to all the wrestlers and be like, "Hey, we want to have you on the podcast." I definitely want to start with Ace and get the history of SWO for sure.
That'd be
We
great.
want to talk about the history, the questions Joe has, give us a nice base to start with, and then we get. I'd love to have both baby faces and heels on,
I think that'd be
Have them
really
on
fun.
together in character.
or they don't even have to be on
They
together.
s-
Like they could be on separate weeks for all I give a shit.
We have them slam on the table. All right, before you
No,
go,
wait,
the outro. Bam!
From my limited knowledge of boxing, when they were like, I'm gonna go back to the Paul Tyson because that's the most recent one. Not that I didn't watch some of that growing up with my dad, but the Paul Tyson, they had the weigh-ins and they like talk smack and stuff. It's like, let's do the podcast like the week before the show or the week of the show, and do like the talk smack before the show. And, like,
And it's funny because their talk smack right now is usually like an Instagram reel, and it's like one talking smack and the other. And it's like, hey, you can come here. We'll give you 90 minutes.
talk smack all you want.
You can. We'll even put one.
We'll just put you
on
there
each
and we'll
side of
stand
us,
back
yeah.
there and just watch you guys talk.
We got plenty of mics. We can set up 4 people. We will set me and Joe in the middle. We'll put one on this side, one on this side. You guys can just argue it out. I can probably hold you apart for a little bit.
Get a solid 2 seconds while you call 911.
I can hold you apart long enough so that Joe can scream for help.
Yeah.
And now the dogs just remembered that we're here. And
They always do.
They heard Joe screaming for help.
Yeah.
so, real injury that I heard about that didn't happen the week today, but Cody Rose dislocated his shoulder or something recently. Did that actually happen? I
don't think
heard
we had
talks about
confirmation of that. The only confirmation we ever got was when Miami, what's his name? Superstar. What's his name? Something Miami.
Merrick, Miami.
that. Miami was on his
See,
ass.
that's why I don't
all.
know. If I don't think I can spell Miami. Merrick, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
MERRICK.
Like sailing Merrick?
Never heard that word before.
Oh,
That's why I can't remember it.
Jen
'cause
plays
that's the word.
Sea Thieves.
But anyways, he actually got hurt with his eye, and that was That was definitely.
Yeah,
But-
he had a scratched cornea. He had to wear
that
an
sounds
eye
like
patch
that
for
sucks.
like a month.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Oh, you've had that?
No, my
Oh.
dad did. Yeah.
Oh.
It's.
I mean,
yeah.
cornea sounds like eye, and then scratched of squishy eyeball. Ow.
Yeah.
No good there. But yeah, I mean, real injuries seem like they happen. Seem like they.
Cisco told us he got kicked in the face.
That's true.
That's a story.
Yeah.
Cisco told us that he was filming and the gentleman from Three Legacies kicked him in the face during filming.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
And then they're always like real apologetic, and it's like,
So,
well,
I'm sorry. No, stay in character. Stay in character.
Oh, the best part was the first night I took Joe, and I was like, oh my God, Joe's never coming back again. Joe almost got hit by Greg, the mechanic's, actually almost got hit by the wrench. It came under Joe's chair and hit his shoe.
I thought you said it hit your leg.
it was borderline.
It was
You fucking exaggerated that, dude. You were like,
I had to make it good, man. I had to make it come to the show. I'm not gonna be
you
like,
told me at the show.
It hit the rubber on his
He
shoe.
told me it
I
flew
told him-
up and it almost hit Maddie in the head and then hit his leg.
It almost hit Matty in the head and it hit his shoe. He
there
was
was
correct.
ambulances everywhere. All right.
He's correct that it almost hit Matty and then it hit his shoe. Not his leg, his shoe.
Fucker.
But as soon as that
He
happened,
said, I got a bruise. I was limping the next day.
I was in the ring. All right, I got up there. I punched the guy in the face. All right.
And
They
he
let me have
took it.
They gave me one shot that I
as
could go
soon as
back
it
at
happened, they came to check on them, and
It
Joe's
was
like,
fine.
I'm fine. It just touched my shoe.
him. Yeah,
They
they came
just
over and
touched
checked.
my
Yeah,
shoe.
they were good. But
Did you get to keep the wrench?
no, he still has it.
He has
Oh, it's
it.
the same one.
Dude's
the
only
same
got
wrench.
one wrench, I think.
It's for the love of the game, okay?
Yeah, I
The
know.
budget's neither here nor there, you know?
I'm here for the party.
He
Let's
needs that for his day job, so let's.
Yeah, he uses that wrench every day. Probably. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
got work.
I think he is a mechanic.
He is, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so
a
he is
mechanic at a
actually a
mechanics
That's
work,
cool
'cause
that his story kind of lines up with his life.
He's one of the ones that sponsors the matches. The GTM that they were talking about
Oh,
that
yeah,
sponsors
yeah.
the matches. That's him, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh my God, he's a mechanic that's actually in the show. So Kenny is going to sponsor, and then he's going to be in the ring. Yeah,
What am I going to come out as the complaint department?
I want to see Weber
the
pick you
AI
up.
head that we have as the logo. You just have that on like as a fucking helmet.
Oh my
I'm wearing a
God,
paper mask.
dude, how much do I have to pay for them to slam you down on the mat?
Free.
Oh, how much?
I mean,
I'm employed at the moment,
drag him
so
in
I
there.
can make bad decisions with like $200.
we're going to have to ask Ace when we talk to him. We're gonna
Oh, we're writing that question down.
How many likes on this video to see you in the ring?
No, not likes. How much money do we have to provide to get one of us in the ring and you slam us?
All right, so
I'll provide the money. You just give me the likes, and
If
we'll
we
get
get-
the likes.
I'll pay
I'll
whatever.
make so many Google accounts.
I'll pay whatever if we get 100,000 likes.
Doug's creating accounts as we speak.
Doug's investing money into the YouTube account.
Fucking Doug out there
Doug's
humping
like,
it.
here's 10 grand. See how many subscribers you can get with 10 grand.
Doug's out there humping a tree, making Google accounts. Motherfucker.
I mean, just because he's a nomad doesn't mean he humps trees.
Well, that.
I envision it though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mindy.
Hi, Cookie.
I can't wait to meet you guys in person after all this stuff. After all the stuff you've heard.
Have
over
you
the
never
last-
met them?
I've never met
I've
them.
And they've never met you, and this is like the only way
Let's
you
meet
can
on the
talk.
podcast. Let's meet.
Oh my God.
I've only met Doug on Zoom and Mindy on Zoom when we were doing
Oh,
games
and
over the pandemic.
COVID.
Yeah, I don't
COVID
think
games.
We did Jackbox over COVID, yeah.
Oh, man.
I've
That
met
was
every single
those
one
days.
of Chris's friends, but I don't think I've met any.
I only ever had successful one. We had like Fuzz and Doug and Corey. Like all my old friends, like all got together one time to
For
play
Jack-
Jackbox. Never happened ever again.
Jackbox is fun.
It is fun.
We did Jackbox over Discord for COVID for a little while.
Yeah.
Worked out.
We did Uno a lot. That was fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you Uno over
No,
Discord?
there's an Uno game on like Xbox, PC.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I was like, green 4. How do you?
Yeah, I drew 4.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? The honor system over here?
No.
Going through the deck? All right, he laid a
it's
4.
a game on Xbox.
He's like, I got one of those custom ones here. It says, "Give me a blowjob."
Right? Like, what,
Sorry, Jack. I guess you're gonna have to come over.
right?
Whoops, I drew the wrong card.
Played poker next. I got a full house.
He's had a full house every
Every
fucking hand.
Exactly.
We all have had full house in the same suit every
All right. Do I have to go into the topics?
Well,
I think we're.
God damn.
Go ahead.
No. What do you got?
No, go ahead.
I have that story that I told you guys last week about what happened with me in Pittsburgh that I could tell to the podcast. The hotel stuff. You guys don't remember? You
Oh yeah,
fuckers.
I remember, but it wasn't.
Oh,
That.
I didn't know if you wanted to bring that up on the podcast, but go for it.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't sure if you were worried.
Oh, I'm
about
not going to
getting
name
fired.
drop anybody. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Go for
confirmed
it.
not getting fired.
You're
so.
confirmed not getting fired.
I made sure.
Until he put it on the podcast, and then HR finds it, and they're like, "Well, you signed a non-disclosure."
Yeah, I was
I was
the
getting the
NBA
letter
got
on
shredded
Monday.
up. So, unless we have anything else about Esther.
No, go ahead.
So for my job, part of my job is to travel to some of our other sites where we have other events going on, and I can teach technology. I don't know how much I want to say, but yeah, I teach
You can't
technology.
teach Kubernetes. You don't know that yet.
Yeah, but I'll say Kubernetes because it sounds fun. Sorry, John, I don't know what Kubernetes.
Nobody. I'm over it. This is different. I don't know what the fucking.
I hear
They
you
were
guys talking about it all the
talking-
time, but
We were having this
talking-
conversation prior to the podcast. Yeah, Joe just
they
looked
were
at us.
techie talking, and I couldn't even keep up. I watched
Techie Trio Tech Talk
Yeah,
Kubernetes episode 3.
techie talk and kick Joe out of the techie talk because I didn't even know what the hell you were talking about.
We were talking Kubernetes, and Joe's like, "I got to get Duolingo to learn that."
I don't know what that is. It sounds like a chocolate brand.
All right, so you were at a place that you went to teach.
So anytime one of our day trips is past 3 hours long in terms of travel, we're entitled to a hotel, so we can have an overnight stay. The city that I went to had a concert and 2 college graduations on the same week or same day, so that'll come into play a little bit later. I get put into this situation where I'm like, do I want to just make it a day trip and do the 4-hour drive, do the event, and then drive 4 hours back, or do I just get the hotel and just be like, hey, I'm gonna stay over. It'll be a nice night. I can get breakfast in the morning and take it slow and not have to worry about it. I went for the hotel, and it wound up being the worst decision in a long time that I've made. So I didn't think about the planning either. So I'm in a golf league, and Joe here was at that golf league night. So I realized
I
that
thought after being in a league, you would have been better.
that was really fucking bad. Well,
Holy hell.
that was really bad. That was a bad night of golf. We got through about 5 holes of the 9 holes that we play, and then it got rained out. But the whole time I'm worried. I'm like, I literally have to finish golf and drive 4 hours. And I was thinking like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I was going to get there. I wound up getting there at like 12:30. And I don't know if you guys have ever, I'm sure you've had employer-sponsored hotels, but hotel nights before.
Yep.
And for the couple that they've done for me so far, I walk in, I give my ID, they find either my name or they find the person's name that's reserved my hotel for me.
Yeah.
And if I show, excuse me, if I show them the hotel reservation email, that's usually enough, right?
Yeah, it's usually
There's a number, and it usually ends there.
It's like if I have
then
that
the next
confirmation
step,
number from your company, your hotel,
It's usually
it's not
enough.
like I just have it in a notepad. Like I have the email. Apparently, they also have to sign some sort of release form to add your name to the reservation. Like, that's the legal way to do it. And I've never had that issue at a hotel. And they had an issue with it at this hotel. I'm not going to name drop the hotel name or anything, but I get there. It's like midnight.
Did it have multiple seasons?
No, it's not that. But it's what the UK folks call a vacation.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
He's thinking about it.
I'll tell you after the podcast, Joe.
Thanks, Mom. Jeez. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know they had a...
Vacation out.
Where do the British people go to a Days
still
Inn? Like, what are we
doesn't- I will
talking
tell him
about?
after
I'm
the
over here.
podcast.
I'm like,
So
man,
I
cheap
get-
hotel you got there.
I get there, and it's this girl, and And the other thing is, my employer does not skimp with the hotels. It's always a nice king suite. It's always like very, very nice. So it's a decent looking hotel. And I get there and it's just this one girl on staff, FaceTiming her sister, aunt, someone, on full volume. So she's not really paying attention to me.
Nice, yeah. Dead giveaway there.
I go, hey, I'm checking in, and I'm like, it's my company. Here's the email. Here's my ID. Yeah, and she's like, none of this matches. I'm not checking you in. And that was the full conversation. She was like, here you go. I'm like, it's midnight. What do you want me to do? She's like, you need to get your company to change the name. I'm like, again, it's midnight. She's like, try and get your company to change the name. So I'm texting everybody at the company like a dick, like, yeah, you're going to answer me at fucking midnight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to call anybody either. Because I'm like, I don't want to be that person. Nobody answers me.
At midnight, they're sleeping in their bed probably, right?
Yeah, it's like,
You didn't pull the Karen card and be like, can I talk to your manager?
Well, we're not done yet,
so
I guess.
finished the texting. I'm standing in the little lobby area in the continental breakfast thing like an asshole. Like, I'm waiting for somebody's response. I'm standing there with one text in my hand. Like, I know damn well she is not answering me at midnight. She has been asleep for multiple hours at this point. I walk back up and I'm like, level with me. It is midnight. Nobody's going to answer me. Nobody's going to check in for that room past, like, who is coming at past midnight to check in for the room? Nobody's in that room right now. Right. Nobody's going to be in that room in 3 hours. Let me in. And she's like, sir, the time of day does not matter to me.
Oh my God. No way.
Quote, unquote. The time of day does not matter to me. And I don't normally get very irate or very caring. Like,
you're like one of the nicest people I know.
Yeah. Thank you. Down to the point where if I order a burger and I get a Caesar salad, I'm eating that Caesar salad and I'm not saying a damn fucking word about it unless Gabby realizes that I did not order a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm embarrassed to say I had 2 backpacks in my hand. I may have taken one of them and thrown it a little bit. Because I was very upset.
I mean,
it was downpouring rain on this turnpike that I had to take the whole time. At 70 miles an hour. I had to go 55 the whole time behind a truck. So I was already very upset about how long it took me. I didn't play very good with golf.
Right? A guy who never plays outdrove you on every hole.
I'm listening to this from your point of view, but I'm also thinking, like, Noah walks in, right? He's having a bad day.
No. I came in with a very nice attitude.
No.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm trying to check in. Good evening, what's up, ma'am?
As you're explaining this stuff, all I can see is Noah lost golf.
Fucking room.
Like, Noah didn't win golf. Now he's driving for 3 hours. Fucking golf. Motherfuckers. He comes into the hotel lobby and he's like, bitch is on her phone. She's fucking FaceTiming somebody. So he walks up and he's like, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. I need a room. All right, this is my number. All right, sir. Well, your name's not on the room, so you're going to have to find another accommodation for the night. Are you serious? Takes off his backpack, throws it to the floor.
I'm sure that's the way she described it.
I'm sure that's how she saw it. Like that's how she told the company it went down.
I'm sure she explained it to her manager in that fashion. That's not how it went down.
I mean, because that's how I'd be telling my boss.
There's 3 sides to every story. You're hearing mine. Mine is very adjacent to the truth. It's truth adjacent.
Mine's completely unbiased, so.
You saw the whole thing.
I just don't understand. I check people in all day at a hotel. And the odds of when is my last experience? Oh, you let so-and-so into that room when they knew the company name. They knew they had the confirmation number.
I'm wearing company gear. My backpack has the logo embroidered into it. And I had my badge with me, too.
I mean, Susan, well, Susan, you've done that 3 times this week. You can't do it again. Noah's coming later. Don't let that fucker in.
So for all she knew, he could have been fired that day, and they no longer wanted him to have the room.
But they would have seen the history, right? Where it would have been like, my name was on it, then they removed my name, right?
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they never put your name on it because they knew they were going to fire you before you got to Pittsburgh. I mean...
I throw my bag down. And my deodorant comes out, cracks my deodorant. I'm pissed about that.
Oh, then she saw his gingham.
Oh,
It was Harry's.
were you lotioning your hands when you got
He
there?
was.
All right.
He walked in and she's like, "Oh my god, he smells like gingham unstoppable." And now he's trying to. I'm good.
There's one right here.
He comes in. He's got gingham unstoppable on his hands. He's got his eau de toilette on, and she's like, "Oh my god, this guy."
We're not letting that drop. Go ahead.
No.
So
I throw my bag
continue.
down. And at this point, I'm like, ma'am, do you have a manager on staff that I could speak to? But at that point, it was not. I did not sound like that. I was like,
There's no way you said, "Do you have a manager on staff?"
I threw it, and I'm like,
can
I speak to your manager?
It was more
And
of, I
she
set my
said,
bag down.
it's midnight. I don't have to. Oh, what? I thought the time of day didn't fucking matter to you. I thought, does it matter to your manager? So at that point, she asked me to leave the premises. And I was
Is this
like,
your first time that you've ever heard those words? Probably.
yeah, I've never been asked to leave I've never been like banned from somewhere, like asked to leave.
Did
like,
she threaten to have the police called and have
I
you
think we were
trespassed?
headed in that direction, but I de-escalated by leaving because I
Okay.
probably would have. I would have been much more irate. Again, the drive is really what upset me. I was so looking forward to just having a nice, easy drive.
You
at
sure it
night.
wasn't the losing golf before the
No, 'cause
drive?
we-
Oh, he wasn't
Finish.
talking about the drive. He was talking about his golf drive.
Yeah,
that drive that
We
I.
didn't finish golf, so it didn't really
Nah,
matter.
We didn't either.
We got through like 5 holes, maybe.
Yeah, but it was like bad sex that you didn't finish, so it was fine.
You were playing pretty well.
I was. The rain got in the way. We did, right? Like we
And
took,
like we didn't wait either.
Did
Like,
you
it started
notice?
downpouring, and then we were like, "Let's go."
like we played 7 holes.
Yeah.
Of the 7, we took 6 of my drives over Dad's. I was like, and the only one we didn't take was when I shanked onto the road. I was like, okay,
I didn't even.
all right.
Dude, it was so shaked we didn't even
It
hear
was
a bounce.
so bad.
It was all the way past the road.
all my drives that day were straight, not to be a
I think
dick.
you got a little cocky.
And then
you're just
that
like
one was just like, whoom. And I was like, all right.
Never saw that ball again. Nobody's ever playing golf with that ball again.
I wanted to give Mike so much shit because I knew it would piss him off. I don't really care about you, but I was like, oh, I want to fuck with Mike so
I'm
bad.
pissed
Mike,
off.
the bug guy from 2 weeks ago.
I get very pissed off because this fucker only plays golf when his FOMO tells him he needs to play golf.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I didn't even know Joe golfed until we went on
I
Outer
had-
Banks trip.
Dad taught me to golf when I was young. Had a couple lessons and stuff, and then outside of that, Fuzz is giving me some tips. And then I have clubs over there.
I golf at least once a week, normally twice a week, and this fucker demolished me. So
I've never golfed. I've mini golfed and I've been to a driving range, but I've never golfed.
I did average.
driving range is mostly golf, so that's pretty much what golf is.
Yeah, but I was just wailing balls in nowhere. So I mean, I couldn't have told
That's what
you
most people do on the
whether my
course.
form was doing anything or not.
But it was because I do those drives. We would take my drive, and then I feel like my nuts are this big, and then I'd shank the next fucking every time.
Yeah, you did.
The
Your
second
second
shot
shot was
was
disgusting.
garbage.
And you know
every
what's so
time.
funny? What makes you feel even better about the drives is he was hitting off the senior tees, so you still outdrove him from our tees.
Oh my god! And Mike was hitting from there. I don't really care about Dad, but Mike, I don't know why. I just wanted to fuck
I
with
love
him
pissing Mike
so
off. It's
bad.
so easy.
He gets so upset. Dad, like I can't fuck with Dad.
No, he
Dad's
doesn't
like,
get mad.
No, Dad doesn't get mad. He goes, "Oh yeah, drove me. Fuck it." But Mike, he gets so upset, and I'm like, I want to fuck with
Your
you
dad
now.
got mad at me one time last year. We were golfing. Oh my god! And I've never seen your dad actually get mad at something before, and it was hilarious. But
He doesn't get mad often though.
I was asked to leave the premises.
Oh my. Oh, we're going back.
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was golfing
We
again.
jumped off the golf
like,
and went
oh,
back to
good.
the actual
We should.
story.
That's enough.
There was
He was-
much more to the story.
He was
Oh,
asked to leave
continue.
the premises.
So at this point, I didn't know there was 2 college graduations and a concert, a big concert from like a football stadium concert. So I knew there was 3 hotels in the area, and I've stayed at 2 of them so far. Except I haven't stayed at that one, and obviously I'm never staying at that one now ever.
Yeah, they got you on a list.
They got.
They got a picture of you.
Goes in there.
I've never been on a list before. Let's go.
I'm gonna
got
go
a
to
picture of you at
Pittsburgh.
the door.
Go to Pittsburgh and take a picture of the picture of him on the wall and be like, Noah.
What's so funny is I just tried for the last 20 minutes not to say Pittsburgh, and you just said it, so it's like, oh,
No.
whatever, it doesn't matter now.
I mean, what do we care about Pittsburgh? We just don't want to say the name of the hotel.
Yeah, that's fine. Holiday Inn. So
Now you solved the riddle for Joe. He was trying to figure out
holiday versus vacation.
Joe was still trying to figure out out the riddle, man. He didn't know what vacation in Europe was.
It was
He
like
had
a
to think.
crossword puzzle in my head. It wasn't coming together.
I told him I'd explain it afterwards because he wasn't going to get it.
Days in, Ramada, Red Roof Inn.
I'm trying to think how that rhymed with vacation.
I'm just like, man, none of these ones I book on Hotwire are coming up.
So
Just bash every company. Here we go. All right. We're never getting sponsored.
I leave and I go to the really nice one that I went to last time, and I get a credit card from the company for gas, and it's just for gas for the company car. But I was told in emergencies, in a pinch, if you need to use it, use it. I didn't want to use it because I'm still fairly
didn't
new.
relay that to us when you text us. You did
I
not
was told
relay...
in emergencies for the car. I didn't know that if that extended to me.
Ah, okay.
And I didn't want to take any, again, liberties. I'm still new. Most people get an actual purchase card, but I'm a contractor, so I don't get a real purchase card. I only get one for gas when I had the company car. Anyways, I go to this hotel that I know I've been to before, and that's when I find out that there is 2 graduations and the concert. So they're like, dude, I don't have a room for you, and you're never going to find a room anywhere near here.
You know what? That's why they didn't give you the room at the other place, though. You weren't there in time. They gave it away. They'd overbooked.
They gave the room away.
They'd overbooked. They gave it away.
She goes, this is the third Noah tonight.
I'm getting to my conspiracy theory for that because you hit the nail on the head there.
They overbooked, and it was after its period of time. That's why it was midnight. And you got there, and they're like, "Fuck, we gave that room away already. Just tell me he can't fucking check in."
You're ruining his ending, Mom.
It's totally fine.
He's got a full conspiracy theory. He's going to tell us.
No, it's basically.
Does it have to do with the Alpha Twitch?
What?
Did I say it right?
Alba Twitch.
Yes, I said it right.
What
What
I
is
said
that?
the wrong thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. We don't want to go in.
It's the Bigfoot from Colombia.
Oh, okay. I called 18 hotels in the Pittsburgh metro area. 18. I went through the automatic call system.
I'm not done counting.
18.
If you went to 18, that was that long.
I mean,
And that was just counting, not
So
calling.
I'll let everybody in on a secret because I found this around Hotel 6. If you hit 0 on any hotel dialing system, they apparently all use the same one. You hit 0, brings you right to the operator.
Oh yeah, most phones are that way though.
But it was the same automated voice every time, so I knew they all used the same fucking automated system.
So you called the same chain of hotels.
No, we're all different. I finally get to one where she hears how fucking defeated I am. I've already had 2 mental breakdowns in the car. I'm like, I don't know this area well enough. I probably would have just slept in the car at this point. Wouldn't the family in Pittsburgh, John and Alicia, were
house?
They were in Croatia.
Yeah, but you could have broke in. Like,
And
don't they have a hide key or some shit?
I don't know how. I didn't think to text them.
Out of the 18 people you called, they weren't one of them?
They were in Croatia.
That's probably a different time zone.
Dude, and you know what would have been worse?
What?
Calling Ree.
I did.
No!
She was call 17. No, just kidding. No, she was the first call after.
She goes, oh, is this Noah? Yeah, we're booked.
I didn't. So I felt so bad to call her. I did text her because we were texting earlier, and I said, "Hey, any chance are you still awake?" Because I assume she's. Sorry, Ree, you're older. You probably have a long text tone that is loud enough for as a ringtone. She probably would have heard that if I called her. Would have been the same way. She didn't answer. That's when I started the whole sequence of calling. Once I figured out the hotel, the graduations and the concerts. This 18th one, she must have heard how defeated I was. I'm like, I'm not having any luck. But do you guys have a room? And she's like, we don't have a room, but we have one with no air conditioning. And I said, I'm there. I'm already. I turned the car on. I'm in reverse. I'm like, which hotel of the 18 is it? I put the address in. It's in like the middle of Pittsburgh, in the city, and I'm in the outskirts because that's where like our building is. It's way out of the city, and it's in the freaking Pittsburgh metro, like dead city. I'm like, you know what? I'll be there in 10 minutes and we'll discuss this. And I get there and she's like, yeah, it's going to be about $750 for the late notice and everything. I'm already worried about using the company card. And I'm like, I just give her my whole situation, pretty much the whole rundown. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to give you the UPMC patient family rate. And it was because the UPMC hospital must have been right there. And she's like, $350. And I'm like, you know what? That's how much the hotel was for Holiday Inn. Anyway.
They didn't even give you like the no AC rate. Like you didn't get a 10% discount for
I did off. There was like 5 other people in front of me that were checking in for the night at 1:30 a.m. at that point. One of the groups of people didn't need all of their rooms, so there wound up being one room that had AC. They gave it to me. AC didn't work very well, but that doesn't matter.
Never does.
I use that company card, and I'm clenching, hoping it gets approved, because I'm thinking, oh, it's a car card. They probably have a max on this for something. But I saw approved, and I'm like, shit, it approved. Now I'm getting fired. So I get up to the room, and again, because it was in the middle of Pittsburgh, it was either I did their valet parking for $50, where they parked my car for me, or I found street parking. And right outside the hotel, there was a spot that kind of looked like a spot, kind of didn't.
Oh, jeez.
I pulled that sumbitch in there and just parked it. I'm like, hopefully it's there tomorrow. I didn't.
Hopefully it's there tomorrow.
I'm like, I will take 15 tickets over it getting towed. It's a company car. I'll pay the tickets. I don't care. I wake up the next morning after probably about 45 minutes of sleep.
The car's not there.
I'm on and off, so worried about spending the money on the company card and hoping the car is still there that it didn't even matter. I might as well just sat in the car the whole night because I got the bed. I didn't use the bed. I just laid there just fuck.
He's looking out the window like, I don't see any tow truck lights.
I was trying to track the car because my Apple Watch was in there. My watch died at some point in the night, so I didn't know if it moved or not. I check out, and I'm just saying a prayer. I'm not very religious, but I'm just hoping Jesus or someone is looking down on me.
You know, Jesus, if you're available, any of the other ones, if
It'd
he's
be
booked.
hilarious, though, if Noah's sitting there and he's watching his Apple Watch, and all of a sudden the car starts moving, and he's looking outside, and it's not a tow truck. Somebody just took the car. And they're just taking off down the road, and he's like, I couldn't get a fucking hotel. I lost fucking golf. That bitch was talking on her phone. Now they stole my fucking car and my Apple Watch.
So the worst part about this, in my eyes, where I thought I was still getting fired after seeing that the car was still there, well, 2 things. One, because I'm fat, there was no free breakfast for $750 a night.
Well,
it's a fucking
$350.
Well, $750 for a normal person. It was a Hilton, and it was $18.
You get a continental breakfast. There's like an orange down
No,
there somewhere.
there
You gotta
was
find it.
coffee. I asked. They just had coffee.
Oh, they just have a coffee bar. Okay.
So I went to this place, and I'll name drop you guys because you were amazing. It's Smashed Waffles in Pittsburgh. Absolutely amazing.
Okay, smash waffles.
They do breakfast sandwiches. They do gourmet waffles and stuff. But I got a bacon, egg, and cheese on 2 waffles, and then they put like this honey butter syrup on it. It was absolutely amazing. So Smashed Waffles, you saved my whole trip. I got a really good latte there and everything.
You know where I've seen smashed waffles? In that pinata. And that's how you smashed waffles that came out of there.
They saved me, dude. The breakfast was amazing.
Sorry.
So I wake up, and I knew I was going to be late to work at that point because it was so late, and I knew that the event didn't start till like 10, so I woke up at like 8 when everybody else starts funneling into work. The hotel lady the hotel reservation girl at my job, she calls the hotel. And the hotel, she's like, hey, Noah had issues checking in last night. For one, they didn't sign that authorization form, which, for better or for worse, that sucks that, she wasn't able to confirm that before I was there. I don't know whose fault that falls on, whatever, it doesn't matter. They tell her a story about how I checked in perfectly fine last night. My room was, I was in there all night. I was there, and there were no issues at all.
Did they provide receipts?
We're still waiting on that as of this video. We can always update.
Dude, no. I want video footage.
Yeah, I know.
I want video footage of
right? Because we're like, we know what happened. She was on FaceTime. We can ask her mom. You can interview her grandmother that was on Facebook or FaceTime. She'll tell you Noah was asked to leave the premises.
But when I got
Dude, you're totally right.
When the hotel girl
you're
messaged
right
me
about
that,
what he thinks.
But when she messaged me and said, hey, they said you had no issues checking in. The person I talked to was very pleasant, very happy, very nice. And I'm thinking, the shift probably didn't change if she called around 7:45, 8 a.m. That same girl might have still been there. Wow. But when she said that, I'm like, fuck, I'm getting fired. Because I'm like, that's when I texted you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way I could talk my way out of this because there's no way for me to corroborate my story. But then I'm like, wait a minute. They know me. They trust me there at this point. Everybody likes me at work. Why the fuck would I went from a really nice...
Why would I stay in 2 hotels?
And go get a double bedroom in the middle of Pittsburgh and not go to the really nice king suite that they fucking reserved for me?
Why did Noah stay in 2 hotel rooms last night? He had this one over here, then he went in the center city and found one that had no air conditioning.
And he used the car card when we told him never to use the car card. So like...
And I know he got this order last week where we gave him a cheeseburger. He ordered a cheeseburger and I gave him a salad and he still ate it. I don't know why he would still do that.
He's a yes man until he wants his double bedroom in the middle of
that's it. He wanted a queen. We gave him a king. I don't know what to do.
That's where I'm on your conspiracy theory. I swear.
They must have booked my room.
You said there were so many other things there. And typically hotels do overbook anyway because they realize that a lot of them are going to get canceled. So they do overbook.
They do.
So now that we know the city, it was 2 huge. It was Pittsburgh University, like Pitt or whatever, and University of whatever, the other one. And AC/DC played at Acrisure Stadium the same night. So that's a lot of people to stay in the Pittsburgh area. So I wound up getting a room. I lucked out. I have the story to tell now.
As I hear you stayed in 2 rooms at the same time, so I'm curious how that worked out. But
I'm hoping they get a firm answer from the Holiday Inn. But from what I know now, last time I talked to them, they said they haven't heard back from the hotel yet. They're more upset that they're not upset about me using the purchase card for the hotel. They're upset that there was a room that, in our eyes, was never used and just sat there dormant all night.
Wasted, yeah.
Yeah, because we have negotiated rates with all those hotels in the area. You know, there's a reason we have those negotiated rates. We have a good relationship with those hotels, and the fact that they turned one of us away.
Like, you don't have a good relationship with them.
Our company has a good relationship. Well, not anymore, but... that was my story. That was my night in Pittsburgh. You know, for better or for worse, I like telling the story now because it's like, now that it's a pretty cool thing to happen. You know,
now that we've name dropped because we've already said it enough times because we solved Joe's riddle for him. If you are watching this and you work at said hotel and this
Holiday Inn Express in waterfront Pittsburgh,
this authorization thing is required. Comment, let us know.
Apparently it's like
or if you're the chick that checked him in or told him to leave, tell us the real story. What did he do? Did he threaten you? Did he try to like punch you in the face?
Yeah, give us. That's like
do I look like someone that would have done that? Like,
he threw his backpack. Sure.
Yeah, he probably
he John Wick that fucking lobby.
That's exactly what I did. No, I was holding the strap the whole time, and I like fucking
knocked her out.
No, it was not in her
Started
direction.
talking to her grandma on the phone.
Right, grabbed it.
Grandma!
Grandma, this is your daughter-in-law. Your granddaughter.
Say goodnight, Grammy.
She's like,
I'm wanted in Pittsburgh, long story short.
We thought it was bad Rick shitting in the middle of a parking lot. We didn't know he beat the hell out of the hotel staff.
Fucking Holiday Inn.
Yeah, Rick's. Don't travel with Rick.
If you haven't, go watch Rick's podcast. That was a trip.
Oh,
Rick's podcasts are great. As much as I love Rick, anything Rick plans, if he follows through on the plan, is likely to not turn out the way you think it will.
Is it not the way he thinks it will either?
Oh no, not the way you think it will either. Rick has no plans for how it turns out.
No.
You haven't met Rick enough to know yet.
I don't think I've ever actually met him in person.
No, he met Andy, not him.
Yeah, Rick does not have plans. Rick has ideas.
Concepts of a plan.
It was funny today we invited him to the...
Rick has
I would have loved if he came.
Rick has ideas
Yeah.
that he just spurts out at random things. So for example, right, what Joe's talking about, I've been sending messages since last month saying, give me a head count for SWO so that I can get the tickets ahead of time and get them going, whatever. So I'm texting him like every week in our group text. This is why Joe's laughing, because he sees it. And I'm like, hey, you joining? You going? Motherfucker leaves the group chat instead of just giving us answers, leaves the group chat.
Instead of saying
we've had to create like 12 different group chats now that he's fucked up. Yeah.
And then you drop his name, say, Rick, are you coming to SWO?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He said his response is, Rick left the group chat.
Yeah.
Rick leaves group chat. So we get it
And
off.
then I see Rick leaves group chat. And then below that, Kenny adds Rick back to group chat. Like,
You're not getting away from me this
You
fucking
do not
easily.
leave. Well, I told you the same thing in our group chat. You do not get to leave.
I was added to this podcast unwillingly.
If you expect to sleep, do not disturb as your friend.
Yeah.
Because I will text even if I'm awake or even if you're not. But
That's why I put my phone away from me when I go to
In
sleep,
our
because I don't
defense-
put do not disturb on. I'm not
telling Rick about this event for
Cut
May
that.
17th for months. And then last week or so, Lindsay said, hey, we're not going to go this weekend. We're just going to stay home. We don't really have plans. We're not going to do anything. We're all planning to go, right? I convinced you to go. I got Joe to go. Got Maddie
It
to
wasn't
go.
very hard to convince, but yeah.
We're all sitting at home earlier. I'm putting a bed together. And this text message comes across the group chat, and it's Rick. And he sends us a Lincoln Speedway schedule event for today.
For today?
At 4:30 p.m. And he goes, I'm thinking about going.
What was it, 3 o'clock?
So I don't.
Oh,
it probably was like 2.
yeah.
It probably was like 2:30, 3, somewhere around there.
Well, wait, in his defense, SWO was never on his calendar because he did not say, hey, I'm coming. So to him, today was an open day.
So I reply and I go, have fun. We'll be at SWO. Like, you're in the group chat with everybody else where we've literally said we're going to this event.
Has he come to SWO?
Yeah.
Okay,
we've
so he
done
knows
it
what it
before.
is.
Two or three times, yeah.
He's been there. And
So that's why it's
Was
like,
he the
yeah,
one that called you when we were in the car earlier? On the way
No,
here?
that was Jared.
Oh, okay.
no, Rick just doesn't pay attention.
That's hilarious.
No, yeah, and it's like that's so funny because it's like, yeah, and I get it. You might not want to go because like we go pretty often.
And I'm
so it's
fine
like,
if you don't
whatever.
want to go. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then you're
But,
like,
like-
hey, guys, let's all go here. And I'm like, I already spent money, motherfucker. And
Well,
you
no.
know.
Well,
And
and
I'm
you
like-
tried to get him to go for weeks. Like,
And I love Rick, but he like plans stuff so last minute that he'll like text you at 3, hey, do you want to come over at 4? Which is like fine for when I was less employed. But now that I'm so employed, like, dude,
you have 48 hours to do whatever you want.
Saturday's
That's it.
been booked since last Monday. Like, I've been like, okay, I'm going to get this done and this done and this done. So I don't have time to...
My last minute is maybe a week in advance.
yeah,
It's
like
your mom, when she texts us at least a week in advance. Or maybe at
Exactly.
least like Wednesday of that week.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you guys want to come over Saturday?
Yeah. And then when I do text, I know it's a long shot. Like, and if I ever do it, it's usually like, but most of the time I'm trying to plan it in advance. But it'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, like a fire or something, like, you know, Outback or something. It's like weather dependent, right? So
Right.
it's like, hey, I gotta wait till the day. And then it's like, I don't expect a yes from most people. I ask a bunch of people, I'll get 2 yeses out of
Right.
10. Like, I expect I'm gonna get it. But like most things, as an adult, you gotta plan that shit in advance.
One of my
And it
good
kinda sucks.
buddies, he'll just like block the day out for us.
Oh,
Like,
my family's worse than
But
Rick.
like he won't give exact times or anything. Like I'm trying to like, hey, can I pick you up at 3 or can I meet you at 3 and then we'll do this, that, and the other thing. He's like, we'll play it all by ear on the day of. And I'm like, no. I'm not blocking this entire day out for you because if it's up to you, it'll be like 10:13 a.m. You'll text me like, hey, I'm on my way to you. I'll be there in 15 minutes to pick you up. Like,
Yeah.
no. Like I need to know around the time you're coming, around the time what we're doing, and then you know what? If something crops up while we're there, hey, we see something that's going on, cool, let's go do it. But you cannot expect me to block a whole day off just because you do not want to plan a kind of schedule, like
Right.
a random.
Like, we're like, is it 10 or 11? Or are we talking like 3 or 4?
I'll pick
like,
you up at
can
3,
I get
and then
something
we'll
in?
be out till like 12.
Yeah.
You know? And
Like,
I'm
can I
like,
get
you know
some-
what? We could do anything in that time frame. Just tell me when you're actually going to pick me up.
Exactly. I want to know if I can do something before it or after it or not at all because we have all
Tell
things
me like the
planned.
main events of what we're planning on doing, because like if I'm going in blind, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. Like you said, we're employed. We only have a certain amount of time to do things that we like to do.
Oh, my favorite is the fact that since I work from home, there are certain people that have a different reality of what I'm doing.
Yes,
That they
I
feel that
understand.
just because I work from home,
You have all the free time to do whatever you
that
want.
I have free time. Like it's
Hey, you want to go to
balance.
Roots Tuesday afternoon?
Like I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. So like what happens is my family's worse than Rick because I'll get text messages and it'll be like Memorial Day, right? And I'll get a text message on Memorial Day, like at 12:30 or 11:30 or whatever. It's like, hey, we're having a cookout today. And it's like, thanks for the fucking notice. Like, I didn't have plans already? Or like,
Yeah.
maybe
Where
I-
did you buy the shit? All the
Maybe
shit's
I
closed on
worked,
Monday, so
like-
you went and bought the hot dogs and the hamburgers before Memorial Day. So you knew you were having this cookout, and then you messaged me on Monday.
Oh, and if they've planned anything, like I'll get a message the day before, and then the best part, right, is they try to guilt me into it. They're like, well, your grandma's coming. Oh, great, you told her. Like, why didn't you mention it
Grammys
to me?
knows it's 2019 that this fucking barbecue was happening. I know 2 hours in advance.
It's like, and then they're all,
It's different for you because you have a kid too, so like you have to plan.
and then I get the thing, they're all like, well, I never see you anymore. Yeah, because you are horrible at fucking planning. Like, if you told me when shit was going to be, I might show up. Like,
When I invite people to my house, I say, what's a day that works for all of us, or what's a day for works for most of us?
Yeah.
And then, hey, if it works for, say, my family, we have like 15 people in the family. If it works for 11 of us, sorry guys, we're doing this day.
Yeah.
Because if it's not this day, it's probably another 4 weeks until we can find another day that works for most of us.
and that'd be one thing. If you reached out to me and I was like, if you reached out to me like a week in advance and I said, I absolutely can't, I got to work that day or whatever, that'd be one thing. But I don't get a week notice.
No.
try
I
and
get like
guilt trip
24
you
hours
into
at the
it.
most. And then when I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be there, they're like, well, your grandma's going to be there. I'm like, well, I'm
for
glad
grandma.
that she's going to be there. Like, but I've got shit to do, and thank you for your lack of notice.
Are we discussing that we need like a Teams calendar for real life?
Yeah.
Like schedule
get
it
a-
in there, and then you're gonna see everybody's light up or not light up.
What I
Who's
need
Gabby
is
and I
available.
already do that.
What I need is I need a receptionist. So my family starts calling and texting. They're like, is Ken available on this day? And they're like, nope.
Joe, the
You
Teams
should have been in
calendar
the
would
book,
never
sir.
work though because people use mouse movers all the time to keep their teams green. So I'm sure in real life they'll find a way to just keep their teams active all the time.
I mean, we just look. I mean, we look to see if you're actually scheduled for something, but if you're not, you're not. If you're monitoring somebody on Teams by their idle status, you
Oh, I didn't
have-
mean that. I just meant
I
when
know
you go to
I know.
schedule a meeting, you drag it.
But I know like when I'm in a meeting, I'll be red obviously. Like
Yeah.
it'll show busy or in a meeting. But if I'm away, if I don't touch my keyboard, I'm just sitting and watching the meeting, I'll go yellow.
Oh yeah,
I'm
dude,
like, fuck.
Mine goes idle all the time because I'll watch like webinars or something,
Right.
or I'll watch like a training.
And it'll block off your schedule for that amount of time and it'll keep you in a meeting.
No,
or busy.
I'm not in a meeting though. Like there's times where I'll watch like a video and I'm watching the video for long enough that I don't have to touch anything. So
Right.
Teams just times out, it does its thing. But I'm still watching the active screen.
Is that why that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, but I'm not.
It's a
I
five-
can't.
5
like
minutes.
I'm in a meeting. I'm like writing. Like I'm not using the computer.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
loading
writing
your
things
keyboard.
down. Like I write it down and then I type it in later
dude.
because I can't like.
I do the
It
same
just
thing.
works better for
5
me.
minutes for
My
Teams.
bosses would think that I don't work at all if they looked at my idle status because I use a Rocketbook. So I write everything in a Rocketbook and then scan it in.
Yeah.
Because
That's the one you put in the microwave to like erase it again, or
not the one that I have. The one that I have, you just wipe it down.
that's
There are ones that you put in the microwave that will
have you heard
clean
of
them.
these?
I use a piece of paper.
It's actually
Like
would be really
super
good for health.
technology.
So
I
they
don't
have
know why you're
reusable
in
while you
why,
use it. So
why are you two reinventing paper?
no, this is actually real. I just heard about this at Tech Talk.
So I have them, and they're great for what I use them for. I like to write my notes because writing my notes means I'm going to memorize them.
It puts it in my brain when
I'm
I write
going to
it down on
memorize it,
paper.
and I'm never going to have to look at it again. But the act of writing it does that for me. So I write all my notes in this Rocketbook, and at the end of the day, I take my phone and I open the app, the Rocketbook app, and I take a picture of it. It's got a QR code and stuff, and it will take that and it takes a picture and it creates a PDF out of the picture, and then it will do text recognition of everything I wrote.
And then you throw it in a OneNote or something.
And then I put it in my OneNote, and now I have all my stuff written out, and I have a picture of it. So if it got something wrong, I can just look at the picture again
He's not grasping.
and see what it is.
But because it's a special paper, it's reusable.
You can just erase it.
So you just take a wet cloth or wet paper
Yep,
towel?
just a wet cloth. It's a wet microfiber cloth, and you just wipe it down.
But they have full notebooks that they make where you can put the notebook in the microwave for like 15 seconds, and then you just wipe the ink off, and then you have a brand new notebook again.
Well, no, the microwave ones, what it
Or
does
does it
is
just get rid of it right away?
yeah. So what it is the ink that they make for these is friction ink. So after it gets to a certain temperature, it will basically just disappear. And that's what happens with it is you're basically putting it in the microwave, getting it to a temperature, and it's just the ink is just disappearing because
that makes
it's
sense.
hitting that temperature. But they have it now. You can wipe it off. But a lot of them now, the friction pens, you can just rub it with the back of the pen, and that's enough to heat it up
That's cool.
to make it disappear. So they've really stopped doing the microwave thing now. They've moved on to the
That's cool because
white.
I knew the microwave thing had a limit to how many times you could heat it up and cool
Yeah.
it down.
Blow your fucking mind.
Just buy a new notebook.
I turned the goddamn page. You fucking nerds. Like, holy
Well, there are
shit.
multiple pages
I bought a
in my
$10
Rocket book.
notebook. It's got like 200 pages in it.
Right, but what do
I
you
can actually, check this out. I can use the front and the back
But what
of
do you,
that page.
what do you do with those 200 pages when they're done and you don't need those notes anymore?
Then I would understand the picture thing, and then it summarizes it. I'm not
not
getting away
big-
from that.
I'm not big
But
on like,
the
we gotta
erasing thing?
recycle, we gotta throw away shit, responsibly.
Yeah.
It's like, but at the same time, it's like if I'm never gonna use those notes again, they're just gonna sit in my closet until I inevitably throw them away. Might as well reuse it.
This is what
Yeah.
it is. So it's a thicker lined paper. You're doing your thing, you're writing, you're digitizing it with the app, and then you just erase it with the damp towel and you rewrite. For me, it's like instead of buying a steno pad that I'm going to use up and then throw away, I'm using this up and then I'm wiping it off and just starting over.
I think I just have a different method of storing my things than you guys do.
Well, I don't
Yours
have one
would
of
be-
those. I do what you do. I write everything
Yeah,
in the
because
notebook.
my list then is a list of action items or
Yeah, that's what I-
recording what happened in the meeting, right? Which is
Yeah, that's
now
mine.
in my notebook. And rarely am I actually going back. It'll
that's
be
the thing for
right
me.
before that meeting, but that meeting was a week ago, so I'm like one page away. What'd we do? Oh, here's the action
I
items.
really like-
Flip back over and
I
then
like
do
the
that.
feel of physical
or
paper.
it's
I
a to-do
really-
list, and then we have a digital to-do list. I throw it in there, or I do the effing thing on the list, and then
that's why-
But the notebook is just like, I'm using it the same way, where
Yeah.
I don't really need the notebook anymore, except to
Well,
check.
I'm
that's
the
writing
date.
it because those letters, every time I write a letter, it is going up here and then being stored in my brain.
I
And
started the way you did. I used to write on regular paper, pads and stuff, and keep my notes on that. The problem is that I write so much, I fill those up fucking quick, especially in meetings, because my ADHD is off the charts sometimes. So like you're talking about something and I'm already writing down 15 other things that I'm going to ask about later in the next couple
or
meetings.
to get those deliverables down on the paper, because like you can give me one deliverable, but I know that deliverable is going to need 14
Yeah,
things
or
for
I
me
know
to
that your
do.
deliverable has 4 milestones that need to get there, and we have to hit those.
And those are the things that I know my team or me has to get done. So I'm writing down, okay, you want this thing done, but I need to do this. But which one cool thing that I want to invest in that's really expensive, but it's an e-ink tablet with a pen. It's
I
like a
actually,
Kindle.
they actually do, the Kindle Scribe actually is that now. So you
Right,
can do
I've
that.
seen that. I like the other one because
I had a boogie board rip for a while. It was all right.
I don't know if it would give me the same tactile feeling as actually writing ink to paper. I don't know if I would like it.
It doesn't.
So I think it'll be cool to carry around. But
The Rocket Book is the closest I've got to the feel of ink to paper.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it's not great.
I don't know if I would use the picture to OneNote feature anyway, because anything I need in OneNote, I'm gonna write an SOP for anyway. I'm gonna type a brand new article because all my stuff's just chicken scratch. It's all stuff that only I would understand. Like if you looked at my
It
notes,
does pretty well.
yeah.
It does pretty well at chicken
There's
scratch.
no way it would read my writing. My handwriting's
My
terrible.
I
handwriting
have
is
really
horrible.
good handwriting,
I
but
write-
it's in like my own language. I feel like.
See, I
sometimes.
write half cursive and half
Me too.
print because I'll start writing in print and then I start my brain moves
lazy
so fast.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to be
That I'm-
not to be a dick or nothing, but ain't a goddamn thing spelled right in that fucking notebook. Like, and it doesn't matter because I'm the only one. Like, enough is EUNFF. Like, it ain't in there. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, ain't nothing spelled
Out of
right.
all the ones that I've tried, and there are other ones out there, but out of all the ones I've tried, because I have the iPad Pro, I had a couple of the different e-writers, I had the Boogie Board Rip and stuff. The Rocketbook is the closest I've came to pen and paper. And even then, it's kind of weird because it's almost like you're writing on like a laminated menu sometimes.
I just don't know if I would
But it's-
necessarily care to use the main feature of it, taking the picture, because like I don't know if I'd want to.
But how fine can you write? See, I like that extra fine tip. Like, I don't know why.
Oh, do you?
I feel like
They-
I can fit more in an area, and that just makes me happy.
They do.
I don't know why.
They make different pen sizes, but the pens that I use are fine. I mean, I can get a good bit in it.
My favorite type of pens are the ones that like the ink just feels like it's just like flowing out of it continuously.
Ah.
I hate the ones where you actually have to put pressure down to
See,
get
and
the
that's
ink
the
to
problem
come
with
out.
that's the one thing with the Rocketbook you wouldn't like, because the ink can't just flow out of the pen or else it's just going to smear.
So you have to put friction.
So you have to
push
give it a little bit of push.
See, I don't like that because
It's
I
like
already
a-
have arthritis and carpal tunnel from genetics and everything. So
I mean,
like,
I have carpal
hate,
tunnel and it's not quite that bad.
I hate
but
pushing down.
It's like a ballpoint. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's extreme pressure. It's kind of like a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
But it's not a
I
gel
like
pen.
a Pilot G2 where like the ink is just continuously coming out of that.
Yeah, it's not a gel pen. It's
Yeah,
not.
I gotcha.
It's not gelling out.
Well, next podcast, got to bring it for show and tell.
Yeah, I'll bring the.
And then I'll rip it a new one when you
I
get
have,
here.
We can
We can bring our notebooks
I'll bring
and
my
compare our
stupid
chicken
little
scratch.
notebook.
Yeah.
I have
and-
two of them. I'll bring them along. I have a regular Rocket book that is just lined paper that I use for things, and I also have a Panda Planner Rocket book, which does all the
calendar?
planning. Yeah,
That's sick. I
yeah.
didn't
It's
know
got
they
the
had
calendar. It's got the planning and all that in it. So I've
My
got
calendar
the
is a
various for
mess
goals
right now
and
in
shit.
Outlook, so that would be really nice. Do you guys not block off your Outlook calendars?
Oh, I do. My lunch is blocked off every day. I block off my out of office
wish
when
I
I
could
leave.
do
It's
that.
a big thing in my organization and mostly the IT department that like every meeting is scheduled in Outlook so we all can see our own everybody's team calendar and know when you're busy for how long you're going to be busy. And for my boss, they can see who I'm busy with.
Now,
what
the
I'm doing.
worst part about my schedule is, in my role, I'm sitting over so many projects that I'm triple booked in a lot of things. So I've accepted the meetings pretty much all as tentative, because
If you could jump in here,
I'm
and
going to
there,
pick and
yeah.
choose which I'm in that day because I'm usually know what's going on. But
I hate doing. I've been feeling like I've actually been doing too much now, where I'm like, I'm backing up my meetings to each other like 15 minutes before the meeting's supposed to end. I'm already supposed to be at the next meeting, and it's like, I'm not triple
I've had
booking
to
myself in
put-
the same sense that the whole thing is blocked off, but like, I'm missing integral parts of meetings because I have so many different ones going on now. And I think that's just the nature of being an IT tech. You're in the middle of everything.
it is and it isn't. The other thing, too, is that all the companies I've worked for now, I've learned that if a company has you in a meeting,
And he's been flying around
I
the whole
know.
podcast,
I know
man.
it's been annoying.
and while you're in that meeting, they expect you to be able to handle other things as well. They don't give a fuck about what's happening in that meeting.
Yeah,
Because
my
if
boss,
they
I mean, he
did-
answers my Teams messages in any meeting he's in, and it will help me with anything that I need while he's in the meeting. So I know he can either split his attention or he just doesn't give a shit about the meeting he's
Well,
in.
I'm not saying that he doesn't give a shit, but I'm saying that like
Was
he
it
probably
really
does very
integral to
well.
him
He
being-
probably does very well at splitting his attention.
He's good at time management.
But
yeah.
the fact that whoever scheduled that meeting didn't tell people to not bring their computers or didn't tell them to come just prepared for that meeting only means it's not an important meeting to them.
See, we bring our computers to every meeting. There's not been a single meeting, at least that I've been a part of, where they tell you not to bring your computer.
I mean, I bring my computer to a meeting, but if I'm bringing my computer, it's mainly to take notes. So like, I'm not doing a lot of extra
most
shit.
of the time we're wirelessly presenting to the TV, and then we can.
Because the
we can
reality
each
is,
hop
if you're-
around onto each other's.
you're not
I'm
paying
a desk
attention-
jobs compared
I
to
was
you,
gonna-
where like you're up and about.
I'm on the floor. Yeah, it's half and half. The worst part about meetings is like it's going to be like a whole thing, and like you are needed, but for these 10 minutes, but you're there for the full 60, and you're like, like
that's-
it's like, you know,
I don't know, maybe it's
like,
just the
or at
way
least
my
that's
org-
my job, anyways, because they'll talk about the mold build, they're going to talk about production, they're going to talk about quality, and then they'll talk about the automation, and it's like. I
And
gotta
there's
be there.
some
I
meetings-
should know.
There's
But it's not
definitely
like
some
you're gonna
meetings like
schedule
that.
10 minutes with everybody. It's everybody's.
We do a monthly team stand-up meeting where like everybody gets a chance to talk. You know, my manager starts, and we all get to talk about the projects we're doing. And that's the only one where I feel like I only need to know my manager, and I need to talk when I'm needed. But like all the other ones, I either know the projects are in development, or I'm not in place of or I'm not needed for any of those projects. So why do I need to know? I just need to know when they're done, and just tell me what I need to know about them. But every other meeting, I feel like I need to be there for one reason or another. I need to hear what process is changing or what they want me to do. So I feel like it just depends on what your job role is. Like managers, like my manager, he is in meetings all day, bumped up to each other. Like you go into a scheduling assistant, and there is no white.
Oh yeah, if you tried to schedule a meeting in my calendar, the first thing I tell people at work, even the moment they're like, "I'll look for a spot in your calendar," I'm like, if it says I'm tentative, just schedule it because I can move those. Like
if it's important to you that I be there and it's a other tentative ones, I'll be there.
Because that's the thing. Like if I know the meeting is important, I will accept it 100%. If I know that I don't have to be there all the time, because like Joe said, they're not going to talk about me until the last 10 minutes, or maybe they don't have any database work this week.
Yeah, maybe you don't even need to be there at all, but because you're part of the team and you're part of the stand-up, you have to be there.
But a lot of the times,
say mostly at mine, they're really good at if I'm not needed, they don't, unless I'm really needed. Like right now my department's kind of young, so
the words that I hate, and
IT, that sucks because there's a computer in everybody's room.
Right, but
sorry guys,
once you get to like Kenny's level and even mine to a point now, because I'm not doing tickets all day, I'm put into projects and things, which is really awesome. I love it, but the lower levels of IT have to worry about all the computers and all those things. We're looking at bigger level projects where, like, sure, the security team needs to know where all the devices are, but they don't need to physically go see them. If it has an IP address, they know it's there. They know it's active. But the words that I hate most, and I think Kenny probably knows them, I don't know if you do, when you are close to finishing a meeting and you realize you have nothing left to talk about, and there's probably 5 or 10 minutes left in the meeting. All right, guys, I'll give you some of your day back. You ever get that? That just pisses. Do you say
funny
that?
enough, I say it because
I'll give you 7 minutes back. You didn't give me 7 minutes back. Now I just got to dick around, for 7 minutes because I didn't know that I was going to have this time.
Now, I say I'm giving you time back, but that's because in my case, I'm actually probably giving you time back because if I scheduled a meeting with you, you're meeting with me, you intended to meet with me for an hour, but I knew you had other shit to do anyway. Like, you probably put something aside to meet with me.
I think it's just one of those corporate BS terms that when I hear it, it just pisses me off.
When you get to a meeting, those certain people that they'll be like,
well,
I scheduled this for an hour, but it probably won't take that long. And you go,
I say that too.
Other people, like some people, they mean that, and other people, you're like, not you.
Do you ever join the meeting and you know who's in the meeting and you know that there's always like that one problem child where they like, any questions for me? And it's always that one fucking guy that asks the question and then asks 7 follow-up questions and makes that meeting go from, it was an hour meeting and it was done 30 minutes ago, but this motherfucker just keeps talking about his issues that have nothing to do with the meeting.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Because we're almost at 2 hours.
Holy hell.
I'm going to wrap this up with
Doug has been like, I don't go to meetings. Right. He's sitting next to a squirrel, a bird, and a bunny. Like,
I haven't done corporate
This is my meeting today.
My favorite, though, is...
Shit.
With meetings, when they schedule the meeting, you have the meeting, and then at the end, you get an email that says everything we just discussed in the meeting and the action items.
In like a paragraph.
And a paragraph. But then, while the meeting ended, the replies to the email are still fucking going for the next 4 years until the stuff's done. Because it's like everybody feels required to reply to that email to be like, oh, well, yeah, I'll have mine done by this day, or I did this and now mine's done.
Why do I need to be in this fucking email chain? Get me out of this.
Really?
Stop CCing
if
me
you're
on
going
everything.
to send an email to somebody, BCC is the answer, because we don't want to see everybody's replies. So when you send out something that says happy birthday Joe to the entire company, send it to the BCC, so when they hit reply, it only goes to your dumbass.
For our exchange admin, our org, anybody in our org can send a all-staff email, which is ridiculous.
We don't limit it either, so you could technically send it.
Every other company I've been to,
where I am,
it's crazy. And
how many?
Put in the BCC and you put your name in the 2.
You guys' companies are way bigger.
I got 2,200 staff, 40. Never mind.
His is bigger than ours right now, based on what I'm running.
2,200 staff. So, but I mean,
that's way bigger. So I don't have as many people.
But it's spread across the whole state, so it's like I only take care of pieces of it. So
Yeah.
All right, so we better
2
wrap
hours
up.
is crazy.
We better wrap up now that we're at 2 hours here.
Because you got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm going to
So-
work
He's
in
gotta go
20
to
minutes.
work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're
Exactly.
filming this in the middle of the day.
We squeezed it all in. Kenny, we're going to give you 19 minutes of your day back.
yeah, get 19 minutes of my day back. To go
Thanks
work.
for coming, everybody. And then I'll send you an email about everything we talked about this podcast.
I was
Everybody
gonna
gets an
say, send me an
email.
email. Well, I'll get a group text when I get home that says, "Hey, we talked about this in the podcast, and what should we name it, and what should the thumbnail
Let
be?"
us know if you like the thumbnail for Gabrielle's.
Yeah, anyways.
All right. Well, if you have it, like, subscribe, smash that button, and later.
Later, guys.